everyone. Welcome to the Play Choices podcast, the podcast you hear. I am your host, V. We have our guest host, Lucas. Say hi.
Hi guys, what's up?
Do you want to preface what you prefaced for me?
Like 2 seconds ago,
Yeah.
that like I did not know that this was the chapter I needed.
And then the other thing.
Oh, guys, I may or may not be a little high right now. But this is gonna work out because I'm so ready for deep and just philosophical conversations about Ellie and what she needs to do as a character in order to
Oh,
and
we haven't even said what chapter we talk about.
well, guys, if you have been following us, we posted chapter 1 and 2, and today we will be talking about chapter 3.
You know what? I love the high version of you because you really just take it over. Like, I don't even have to say anything. I don't even have to start the podcast.
Which is jam packed. I did that little intro because I know you
Huh?
got your questions. I know you probably looking at your documents right now.
Right.
So we are going to pass this over to the host and producer V. Take it away, my boo.
You know what, babe? I love it when you call me producer. It really does something to me. I love it. Um, um, yeah, welcome to the Choices podcast. So as you know, Lucas foreshadowed, we are going to be discussing the third chapter of Ride or Die, a Bad Boy Romance. This episode, for obvious reasons, is not going to be spoiler safe. So if you want to avoid spoilers for Ride or Die chapters 1 through 3, because obviously we're going to reference previous chapters and talking about this one, you can go. I still don't know what the polite way to say that is. Like, I still do not know how to say that nicely
I
to
got you.
tell people they can leave.
I got you. Like I said, I'm high, so like the words, got you.
Uh-huh.
We appreciate your enthusiasm in joining us in this conversation, but unfortunately, there are prereqs that you have to do in order to fully understand and be a part of this conversation. So, if you would please play chapter 1 and 2 and 3, we will be here. And so you can thoroughly enjoy the conversation. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, before we like jump into the actual content of the chapter, every month, I think it's every month, Pixelberry sends out like an online newsletter. They call it like the Choices Insiders is what it's called. And you can like put in your email, get the subscription, get all the updates, right? So I feel like we would be remiss because it came out this past week. I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Um, Lucas, I know that I think Ride or Die is pretty much the only book that you've dabbled in.
Yes, yes.
Obviously, there's no announcements on Ride or Die because, as we talked about to death in the last episode, it's been canceled. So there's really nothing to look forward to right there. Obviously, Ride or Die is not included in this list of announcements, but we do have Royal Romance. The Royal Romance series is getting its final book this year, which I don't know about everyone else, but I'm really happy. This book has been dragged on to the end of the world. I just. I am so excited to not see content about this book anymore. With Every Heartbeat was a book that was originally reserved for VIP players. It was released for all non-VIP players. That is a book about falling in love with someone who has cancer.
Oh,
Someone actually asked for us to read that book, and I said, "Y'all want us to cry on the podcast?"
here's the thing. It's so funny because when I went to play chapter 3, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the pop up notification when I entered the app that was like, oh, this is now available for all players. And when I looked at it, I was like, wow, that looks really good to play. And then I had to worry about Ellie, so I had to exit out and like let's get back to my girl. But cancer, guys, as if we don't have enough like medical depression going on in this predicament that we're in. Like, I don't need to read a book about cancer.
Right, like the last thing that I want to do is read a book about staying multiple days at a hospital. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say never, but like, do I think that we're gonna jump to with every heartbeat right now? Give us some time.
Yes, give us some time. Yes.
So then we have Open Heart. That's the book that I had told you was kind of like Grey's Anatomy inspired. It's releasing its third book on the 19th. We got a shit ton of requests to like play this book next. I don't think like I think you and I are on the same page that we probably don't want to release 16 episodes just dedicated to Ride or Die. So maybe the next podcast will be about, the first chapter of Open Heart Book 1.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah.
I think it's a good series. It's like one of the most beloved series of the entire app. In March, a new VIP book is releasing called Slow Burn, and then later this year they have more books that are coming out. They just said like end of 2021. They didn't really give like a month or anything, but they have some books called Laws of Attraction. I'm pretty sure that one's about like a law firm. Crimes of Passion, I think that's a mafia book. The Nanny Affair 2, so that's a sequel for The Nanny Affair. Queen Bee Book 2, which is another book that we just recently got a request for us to play. That's also a great book. And then Zombies. So it's a zombie book. They're just calling zombies.
Oh, okay. How original.
Right. Very creative,
Mm-hmm.
Pixelberry. Thank you very much. Just I don't know, maybe it's gonna be like zombies. No, let me stop. Let me stop.
Don't give him no fucking idea.
Because the way that they're naming these books Laws of Attraction.
Like, come on. Like, I mean, like, we're not even reaching. Like, we're just staying in place. Like, we're just.
Crimes of Passion. I'm like, why is it every single title is like y'all about to bust?
No, like, literally, first of all, let me tell you my train of thought. Okay, you said law
uh
action, and I said, what could that be about? And you're like, it's about a law firm. I said, okay, you know what? Why didn't I get that?
because you want to give Pixelberry the benefit of the doubt that they
I
are
do.
like
I do.
exactly. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are creative enough to step above this level, but they constantly hit under it. So it's just oh my god. So yeah, those are all the announcements from the latest one. I know people were very excited about Open Heart. Pretty much everyone on my timeline has already played with every heartbeat, and everyone is just saying need a box of tissues. So
Oh, okay.
give us some time. Give us
Oh,
some time. Okay, so let's dive into the actual chapter content. I have 14 pages of notes on this chapter. So again, we're at Ride or Die Chapter 3, Always Watch Your Back. Again, the main character's default name is Ellie Wheeler, so we're just going to be calling her Ellie. The chapter story is that Logan you to the hideout to meet the crew. What will happen if they find out you're the daughter of a cop? The chapter picks up from the last when Nico is driving Ellie and Logan to the garage, presumably where, their crew hangs out. Ellie's in the backseat just like thoroughly sweating
no, like,
because
yes.
because
Yes.
she just now came to the realization that Logan is in the crew. So now she's like, "Oh my god, if they find out I'm the daughter of a cop, they gonna fuck me up."
They gonna fuck me up. I'm dead.
So then you arrive at the garage, which is Kaneko Auto Body of Gramercy Park, which can I just state, I have played this book multiple times since 2019. I have always wondered why they were called Mercy Park Crew, and it just occurred to me in this last playthrough a couple of days ago that it's based off of the Gramercy Park part of their auto body shop.
See, look at you. I didn't even put two and two together. I was like, that's what we calling ourselves? Okay, let's do it.
I was always so confused as to why, like, I just didn't understand. I was like, okay, Mercy Park Crew, that's a sick fucking name. Don't get me wrong. I, however, am just confused how we got there. And
Right.
it took me until, my 11th playthrough of this goddamn book to realize what was going on. So anywho, so Logan notices that Ellie isn't acting normally, so he starts acting concerned. Okay. So Ellie can either respond that she's just nervous to meet his friends,
hmm
to which he will say he doesn't care what anyone else thinks about Ellie because he knows that he likes her, which is like again, Logan coming through with the smooth talk yet again in this
Period.
chapter.
No, this whole fucking chapter, I was like, sir, I can't get wetter than what I am. Like,
Oh. And then Ellie can also respond that she's just car sick, where Logan will appropriately call her out and say that she has seemed fine the night prior when they were evading the cops.
Which is
So
exactly why I did not choose that.
it's a bad lie. Ellie's not good at lying. Like,
No, she not. And here's every option. It's either like you're dancing or on the truth, or it's the most ridiculous lie. And I'm like, Ellie, we
yes.
have to be better. Okay, we have to do better.
Yeah, no. Like at this point, Ellie is just better off just dancing on the truth at the least.
No,
At the
truly though.
most, she should be telling the truth. However, comma, because she sometimes cannot tell the truth. Like she can't just come out here and be like, "Oh, I'm the cop. I'm the daughter of a cop." Because she can't just say that. She either needs to dance on the truth or she just needs to shut the fuck up. Because this
That's
whole
it.
every time she lies, it's so
It's
bad.
so
I'm like,
bad.
can't
It's so bad.
it's embarrassing. Okay, so there is a woman who opens the bay door to the garage. We learn that she's over 6 feet tall. And they pull into the garage. It's like very nice. It has like a street art aesthetic to it. I really like the background in these games. And it's just full of cars. Some are in like a state of repair, some are not. And Ellie kind of thinks to herself, like, is this a legitimate business? Like, do they actually work this auto shop, or is it just like a front for something else that they're doing, right? So she's trying to put 3 and 7 together because she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know what the fuck is going on here
Mm-hmm.
right now. So Ellie then asks Logan if he works here, and again, Logan is very vague. You know, he just says that he helps out every now and then. So in addition to Logan being charming every chapter, he is also vague in every chapter.
Yes.
Trying to get information about this man is like pulling teeth.
No, truly.
I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. At a certain point, being vague is not sexy. Like at a certain point, I'm just here to get to know you, and you not open it up.
And it's just like I just feel like after like okay, in like retrospect, if this was like a normal type courtship, all right, cool. Let's play chess. Let's like let me mentally break down your walls. But in the span of 48 hours, I have been into two speeding cards with you. So like something really got to give because we flying off bridges. I'm over here letting you win pink slips. And you can't tell me a little bit more about yourself?
See, and that's where you and I differ, because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck normal courtship or not. I'm not here to play these motherfucking games with you, bitch. Like, I'm not saying that we have to reveal our like trauma that we go to therapy for. I'm not doing that shit in the first 48 hours of knowing somebody. I'm not gonna bust out and be like, "Oh, this I went to therapy for this 3 years ago." I'm not gonna say that. But can I get a little bit of information? That's all I'm asking for. That's really it. So the tall woman approaches Ellie and asks Logan if he's going to introduce Ellie to everyone, and we learn that her name is HIMEME. Logan introduces Ellie as his date, to which HIMEME seems, really shocked.
Yeah.
So this is the second time that someone has been like, "Oh, you have a date."
Yes.
What the fuck is up with that? Does Logan like never bring girls back?
He must never bring girls. I mean, it just seems odd and unrealistic to me that he's just like not like getting cat any fucking second. Like it just like I could understand like that's your date. Wow, that's so crazy. Like you don't really settle down. But they're like, oh, you brought a girl, period. Like we like there's a girl beside you. And I'm like, what is the issue with that? Because I just feel like realistically, and him being a bad boy, he would have like mad women. And they'd be like, oh, look, Logan brought another conquest.
Right, exactly. Like, I would assume, because I'm like, how busy and slash emotionally unavailable are you that you truly not fucking anybody? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. It was cute the first time. Like, it was cute. I let it go the first time that Vaughn said it. But now that X is saying it, now I'm like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is it that you truly have just like never fucking brought a person it don't even have to be a woman. If you into men, that's okay. But like why nobody?
No, truly.
Literally nobody? Like, sir, you go into these parties, these balias that he's talking about with the sideshow. I know that they go to the club. So he's not bringing anybody back home. Maybe he just fucks them at the club. I don't know what's happening here.
Me either. And he's not gonna tell us. So
Nope. That was the one thing we learned about Logan is he keeps his fucking mouth shut about every detail about his life. Yeah, I don't know. It's very perplexing to me because to me it would be a much more realistic scenario
Hmm.
for someone to be like, if Ellie had walked in and they're like, "Oh, who's this girl tonight?"
No, yes, yes,
That would have been different. But
yes.
that's not what they're saying. They're
No.
saying, "Oh my god, you brought a girl." And we're like, "Oh my, is this man this damaged?" Like at this point I'm starting to feel suspicious cuz like I listen, I understand we're playing a character who truly had never been kissed before, she met Logan. So I'm not saying that it's out of the realm of possibility that he's like never had a girlfriend before. In fact, I don't know, with his lifestyle, maybe it is realistic that he's never had a girlfriend before. But to just have never brought someone home when Logan looking the way he is and with the car that he has,
Yes.
and with as charming as this man could be, someone gonna fall for it.
Lie detector determined that was a lie.
Right.
No, that was a lie. Like you, it's just so unrealistic. And I know he probably just got literally his contacts is like number like hose 1 through 8. Like I just there's just not there's no way.
It just it quite truly I'm this is the part where I feel like chapter 3 in general is one of those chapters where I feel like you are either pumping the brakes on Logan or you're starting to like slowly inch forward. You like how that I made that pun car
Yes,
related too? You see that
yes,
pun?
yes, yes. Right. You were either like, taking the time to learn what the car parts do, or you're just slamming on the gas and just fucking full throttle ahead, you know?
Mm-hmm. Himena approaches you. You can either shake her hand or back away slowly. I feel like it's pretty obvious which one of these is the better option, but I have to ask, like, what did you pick?
I definitely shook her hand.
You can't. First of all, backing away is disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. And let me tell you, definitely, just like I was always taught, definitely from like my dad's side of the family, like my black side of the family. If you walk into someone's house or if you walk into someone's like establishment, you have to introduce yourself. Like it is so rude for you to just like walk into someone's house and not be like, "Hi, my name is like yada yada yada." And so the whole like backing away thing, I'm like, girl, at this point, just say you want to get shot. Like just tell me like it's like that trend like tell me you want to get shot without actually telling me you want to get shot. That's how I feel like some of her actions are. Because why is your natural reaction to walk away to back up slowly?
Ellie is really acting like Jimena is approaching her like she pulled a knife out on her or something.
Right. She just she over here being prejudiced.
Exact. And you know what's crazy? My Ellie is a person of color. So I'm like, why are you backing away for everybody?
No, me too. Me too. Me too. My Ellie is yeah. And I'm like, wow, can we not do this? Like I understand the book microscope, the fact that she's 6 feet. Like
Right, no, like she walked out and Ellie went, that's a big bitch.
that's a big bitch. That's a she can reach the top of the garage door. That's a big bitch.
I'm totally with you. I had a friend she had a roommate and her roommate's boyfriend would walk into the apartment and wouldn't say a fucking word to her.
Oh my god, that's so rude.
And she literally every single time it would happen, she texts me like, "This motherfucker just walked into this fucking apartment again." Every time he walk in here, he don't make eye contact with me. He doesn't say hi. She's like, "I pay rent. You don't pay rent, motherfucker. So you better say something to me."
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, no, I'm fully with you. At this point, Himeno really hasn't done anything other than sit here and look at you and walk towards you.
She opened the entrance for you. Like she
She
like
literally welcomed you. She was the welcoming party. She was the first person who walked up and was like, "Who is this girl?" So yeah, no, I think it's incredibly motherfucking rude to back away. In the I cuz sometimes I look up like YouTube playthroughs of these chapters
Mhm.
to just to see how the different options, play out. And if you do choose to back away slowly, Himena will make a comment that Ellie seems to scare easily and that it won't benefit her in this environment, and then she pulls her into a hug.
Oh, still? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she still offers you a hug. And then if you offer your hand, Himena will say she doesn't really do handshakes, and then she'll pull Ellie into a hug.
Right.
I feel like the only reasonable option is to offer your hand. Backing away is only acceptable to me if she like pulls a knife out, a razor blade,
Right,
a gun.
right.
She better literally be threatening your motherfucking life for you to back away from somebody. Because I've literally never approached someone and had them back away from me. Like I don't even know how I would react.
Like, you would just feel so, like there's only 2 reactions, like, you would be like, "Okay, A, what is it about me that is so scary that this person is backing away?" Or B, you'd be like, rude ass bitch? Like, the fuck? I don't even wanna get to know you no more." Like
Exactly. You would be like, well, damn. I guess I'll just turn my tall ass around. Shit. Let me go back into my California king size bed.
Oh my god.
So then another woman appears. She very playfully comments on Jimena's like warm welcome to Ellie. She is described. They take a lot of time physically describing her, which that's how I know that these are about to be important characters, right?
Oh, yeah, most def.
So she is described as like a willowy tattooed girl with dark eyes. If you don't know what willowy is, it's someone who's like very tall and thin. Clearly not 6 feet tall because Ellie didn't back away from her. But she's tall and thin, right? So she makes a comment to Logan that Ellie is cute. So Ellie can either respond by saying, thanks, or Ellie can say, you're pretty cute yourself. Did you flirt back with her?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I also said you're pretty cute yourself. If Ellie responds saying, thanks, this woman laughs and says that Ellie's shy and therefore Logan must be having fun with her. And then if Ellie responds, you're pretty cute yourself, the woman just kind of laughs it off, saying some variation of like in your dreams or something.
Right.
So it's after this kind of flirtatious kind of vibe passes that we learn that her name is Mona. So Mona approaches Ellie and asks if she's a cop. Ellie, of course, stutters because 15 minutes ago, not even 15, probably like 5, she was
5.
just
Yeah.
drenched in sweat in the car. So Ellie's starting to stutter and she's like, what? And then Mona laughs and then makes a comment that she's gonna enjoy like picking on you. So we're very clear. This is a very like sarcastic, teasing kind of like relationship she's already developing with the crew. So at this point, like, what is your impression of Mona?
It's so funny because when I first saw the character of Mona, I was like, "Wow, she's really pretty." And that's why I told her, like, "No, like, you're really pretty yourself." And then when she was like, "In your dreams," I was like, bitch, like, what?"
Oh,
Like, I was like, "Wow, okay." But then later on during the pool scene, which we'll get to, I started liking her again. So, like, Mona gives me very, like, hot and cold vibes, very, Gemini vibes, not trying to insult anyone, but very, like, hot and cold, very, like, I didn't know if I was gonna like her or not. Like, cause one moment I'm like, "Oh, I'm all about Mona," and then the next I'm like, "Oh, you aggravating," or like that comment was like so OD. Like I'm quirky. I'm the quirky girl. I'm just trying to get along with everyone. And I just think it's because like Ellie's friends are like very direct, which again like we'll talk about at the end of the episode. They're like more direct. Like there's no like comedy to them as
mhm.
opposed to, the crew, they just bust each other's balls. So me like really trying to play as Ellie and see what's best for her, that's so foreign to me. So I guess that's understandable why I felt that way about her. But I think I'm gonna end up liking her as the story progresses.
Right. No, the way that I feel about Mona is to me, she's like a relaxed Colt.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
She's not out here trying to, fight Logan. She's not out here trying to fight her father like Colt is. But she is very ball busty. She clearly likes to pick on people to like make other people laugh. And she's just like very, very chill to me so far. So yeah, I do like her. I think she's a great addition to, the ensemble of characters they are introducing us to. So interrupting this moment, a flame appears from a car's exhaust, and then there's like this disembodied voice that apologizes for, what's happening. Mona makes a comment that voice belongs to someone named Toby, and she says that Toby's gonna burn this whole place down one day. So apparently this is a normal occurrence for him. So this is when Toby appears. He's described as a young, scrawny guy covered in grime from working on the car. He like very enthusiastically walks up to Ellie, shakes her hand, and starts telling her about a personal project that he's working on with the car. So it's safe to assume we probably met the whole crew.
Yes, yeah.
At this moment, Cole arrives at the garage. It's a full blown house party in here.
No, truly.
Everybody got home at the same time. Pretty much everyone who hasn't already seen like saw Colt already know who he is, but they are surprised to see him. So yeah, we're just continuously getting hints that like probably people know of him. Maybe they spent some time with him in the past, but he left. We don't again, we still don't quite know what the fuck happened between the two of
Yeah, we
them.
don't know the full story.
The only detail, there's two things that is said during the scene, which is that Himena mentions that Cole at some point went to college.
Yes.
So we know that he's a college student, or at least maybe was in the past. At this point in the chapter, we don't know yet. And then Colt himself makes a comment that he's glad to see some familiar faces because it lets him know that his dad doesn't kick everyone out of his life. So we're like, oh okay, maybe Colt wanted to be here. And then Kaneko was like, no bitch, you
Right.
go get your education.
Right.
He's his dad. It's not unreasonable to say that. So when Colt arrives at the garage, Ellie can either choose to greet him or say hi. I think either way you really get a sarcastic response out of him, but he does seem a little bit more entertained if you don't greet him. Like it like makes him laugh that you feel the need to ignore him.
Oh wow. Okay, because I greeted him. I was like, you know what? I said, now that I know who you are, let's go ahead and let's do a clean slate. Let's go ahead and just, let's just move forward. And to know that it's sarcastic in either way and that he thinks it's funny that you don't greet him. That's exactly why I greeted him. I was like, I don't want no funny business.
Oh,
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, sir?
yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. I feel like I'm not saying that I'm above ignoring somebody, but
Mm-hmm.
what I am saying is you have to do a little bit more to get me to ignore you.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
Like making a couple of like side comments, and plus I personally felt like the writing of the conflict between Ellie, Logan, and Colt in chapter 2 is forced.
Yeah, that would never happen.
It was so dramatic for what? For what reason? It's like Colt made some rude comments, and trust me, I've been out and about and had someone made some rude comments that was completely uncalled for. You know what I did? I laughed. I laughed. I've had people say shit to me out on the street when I'm walking between bars. I just laugh because it's not that deep.
Yeah.
And like if Colt wants to be an asshole, it's me today. I'm not taking that personally. So for me, I don't think I would have ignored him. Honestly, I probably would have said hi just to see what he said.
No, same, same. That's literally like my train of thought because I'm just like, there's so much that had happened from when we had our retaliation to now. So I'm like, if I'm still grudging on that, what does that say about me as a person? I'm just one of those people that feel like first impressions are not always correct.
Yes.
I was like, let's try again.
Yeah. I am 100% with you. Absolutely agree. I also think that choosing to ignore him is just playing into exactly what he wants you to do.
Exactly.
And that's letting him know that he's getting to you. And I'm a person who's like, you know what, bitch? I want you to know that I'm okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I also chose to greet him as he walked in. So after this exchange, Colt will walk into his dad's office. He like purposefully clips Logan's shoulder. I just
I rolled
I
my
read
eyes.
that.
I rolled my eyes.
Thank you. I, I was like, for what reason? Y'all acting like little kids.
No, like really. And what are y'all even fighting over? Y'all don't even have a conflict to fight over yet.
Like, so what? You were a little bit rude to me. Ellie cried wolf.
No, she did. She did.
And it's like, for what this is what y'all beefing over, a girl that Logan met like 24 hours ago? Like what why is Logan pissing on something that ain't even his? I'm so confused. It's very childish to me. Like, I don't know about you. I personally think interactions like this are a turn off for me. I don't think it's attractive to like constantly butt heads with somebody.
Yeah, you know what's attractive? Being fucking civil. The fuck?
Oh,
Like,
Logan, you better take some notes.
take some notes, please. Let's be civil and let's open up a little bit, okay?
Exactly. Logan seems suspicious of what Colt is up to when Toby suggests that they eavesdrop. I don't think anyone goes with Toby to eavesdrop. That's like a solo mission he takes on
And
his
that
own.
is so funny. Like, I really loved that part because I'm just like, there would be one person of the group that's like, no, listen, guys, like, we have to know the tea.
No, I feel like that's me and you.
No, that is me and you. That is so me and you. Like me and you would be like, ain't no one else worried about what's going on in here. You know what? I'm gonna find out for everybody, okay?
I cannot tell you how many times I've overheard someone arguing and I've been like, let me go to the window.
I literally sent you a Snapchat of me going to the window, listening to an argument. Like,
Yes. I remember there was one, it happened last summer. One summer night. I'm playing video games on my bed. I hear this yelling outside of my window in the place that I currently live at. I go and I open up the motherfucking window. I'm like, let me open this bitch up. And I sit back down and I keep playing my video game because I'm at like an uneventful part of the game, so I don't really need to focus. I hear this couple that like lives across from me just screaming at each other. I'm like, "Ooh, what he saying? What he saying?" Like, I'm a nosy bitch. If you want to talk loud enough for us to hear, I'ma listen.
I'm so nosy that like I get invested, right? Like I get like if she screams like you're not there for me, I'm like, "Ugh, listen, you got to be there for her. Like you got to be." And like she,
Right.
I fucked your brother. It's like, listen, now that's where you fucked up, sweetie. Like you should
Exactly.
are
You
like
start coaching the argument. You're like, "You know what, guys? Let me be the mediator."
no
That's
for
fucked
real.
up. You shouldn't have done that. So then Logan will leave you with Mona for a bit. This doesn't really say what he.
Does, which was so awkward. He was like, I just need to run in my car for a little bit. I'm like, for what? Like, it was just so awkward.
Yeah, no, it was truly it's just and not to say that that doesn't happen because obviously it does. Like it happens. You can leave shit in the car. You can need to go back, but he doesn't say any of that. He's just like, I gotta go to my car. Mona, can you
Yeah.
watch her? Which also gave me weird vibes. I'm like, why is he asking for somebody to watch me?
Right, like I am a grown, literally grown, because you
We're 18.
against my 18th birthday with me. I am a grown ass woman. And then Mona's response was like, "What? Like, do I look like a babysitter?" I'm like, that is an appropriate response because why does she feel like why are you making her watch me? What am I gonna do?
Also, it makes me nervous because I'm like, what is it about this crew that Logan doesn't feel like he can leave me alone with them? Like to me, I'm like, I don't know whether to be insulted or scared or both at this point. Like I really don't know how to handle this scenario. Either way, I just think overall we're thinking a lot into it. I think it's just a plot device to get us some alone time with Mona in this chapter.
Okay, okay.
That's how I interpret it. It's like this is a plot device because at no point in this chapter does Logan come back and he's like, "Oh, I grabbed you a Snickers." He
Right,
doesn't come back and he's like, "I left my cell phone in there."
right. Like it's fucking midnight, and you've been out all night, and you're not yourself when you're hungry. Like,
You're not yourself when you're hungry. Um, so when you're chilling with Mona, Mona's babysitting you. You can either ask her what's up with Colt or herself. I'm just curious, like before, because I wrote down all of the interactions that follow this, but I'm just curious, like, what did you pick?
I said, "What's up with Cole?"
Okay.
I did because in the last episode, you had asked me, where you think the story is going to go. And initially, I had said I think that maybe I will end up falling for Colt more or have some sort of attachment to him.
Hmm.
So I just felt like my answer choices with Ellie always tend to be more futuristic ones because I need to know what's going on at all fucking times. So I'm like, now's the perfect time. What the fuck is up with Colt? Because why he act like that? And like Mona, I mean, like she, from what we know, she doesn't really have a backstory yet, right? Like she's just like a smartass who busts people balls. I don't need to ask about you. Let me ask
Oh,
about the person who I don't know about.
well, if you choose to ask about Colt, Mona will just mention that he's really like dark and brooding and ask if Ellie likes him. And Ellie can either say, I like looking at him, I don't know him, or what's to like. Now, what did you pick?
I said I don't know him.
Okay. If you do say I don't know him, Mona will say, so I hate people I don't know all the time. Very real answer, by the way. Ellie says they probably just got off on the wrong foot and that Colt was being rude to her. Mona will then ask Ellie why she cares, and Ellie will say that she doesn't.
Right.
Clearly a lie. Clearly a lie. Ellie can also say, I like looking at him. And Mona will laugh and say that he does have a smolder, but she's confused because she's like, I thought you were with Logan. And Ellie says she isn't really with anyone. And then Mona will say that she'll have to keep it in mind.
Oh, wait, hold up. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me analyze that choice
Okay.
for a couple seconds.
Okay.
Wow. Like that's I feel like that doesn't go with Ellie's character, but if you have this like fuck it mentality, I've done things that I never thought I would do these past couple of days, like how can I step it up? Let me just date the whole crew or see my options, then like I can really appreciate that answer. Because in retrospect, like Logan A has not opened up enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm in a committed relationship with him. And boyfriend talk is not on the table. So she is dating him. And that does not mean that there are each other's properties. So by all means, Ellie, fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Yeah, they're not exclusive. They're not a monogamous
Right.
relationship. There's no
Right.
reason for Ellie to not have some wandering eyes with the rest of the crew.
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest, is it a little messy to date two people in a friend group at one time? Yes, but also her getting involved with them in the first place is messy. So
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, if it was in a friend group, that's already messy. But you in a illegal, your dad is tracking them down crew, you might as well break all the rules.
exactly. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I mean, I don't know if it fits my Ellie to say that. I actually can't remember which one I picked. I can't remember which choice I picked. I don't know if it fits my Ellie to say that, but also, is she wrong for saying she's not with anyone? Not really.
No, she's not. No.
Not really. And you know what? That feels like some shit I would do.
No, most deaf, most deaf.
This feels like some shit where I go out with the club and I'm having a good time. I'm like, oh, this man is cute. He's hot. He's sexy. Whatever. He's expressing some interest. And then I see his friend. And I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God.
oh,
Because why not? Y'all ain't in a monogamous relationship. And
exactly.
like you said, Logan is not opening up. So shit, if I need to look, I'm going to look.
Mm-hmm.
The final option that Ellie can pick is she can say what's to like. Mona will then say, well, most girls would say the body, the hair, and the bike. Then Ellie will say all of those things are superficial and that Colt is an arrogant ass. Mona will laugh and say that, well, he definitely has the ass too.
Oh my god.
Ellie will then ask Mona, she said, well, if you like him so much, why don't you just deal with him? And then Mona says, he's not her type. We're really getting some heavy, heavy hints that
Yes,
Mona is not
yes,
into men.
yes.
Now, of course, you can ask about Colt, but you can also ask about Mona herself. She seems pretty reluctant to answer, and Ellie replies that, she just wants to get to know Mona because she's never met anyone like her, and Mona says that there's a good reason that there's nobody else like her in this world.
Oh,
We're getting like I don't because you asked about cults, so you didn't see any of these options, but I just really feel like that's very like Logan angsty kind of shit.
yes, 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 yes. I have to bust balls, so the topic is never on me type shit. Like,
Yes, she's like I can only make fun of everyone else if they don't know anything about me.
no, like literally, yeah.
I love that. Mona will then follow up from that by saying, she just wants to be honest with Ellie. She's like, let's talk woman to woman. She literally says that. She says that guys like Logan are just surviving out here, and that survival is all that matters to them, and that Ellie needs to watch her back.
Mm-hmm. Which is very fair.
Yes.
I would appreciate that conversation because of the later conversation that we have with Logan. I would be okay if that parallel happened in my story.
Yeah. No, and it's fair. It's like, I mean, here's the thing. It's not something that Ellie doesn't know.
Right, truly.
She knows that these people are criminals. So it's like Mona's just trying to be like, listen, bitch, you look soft. And as much fun as I'm having busting your balls, I also want you to know that there are like real life consequences for hanging out with people like us.
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't just like you come over here, we kiki, we go out clubbing and come back. Like that's not what
No.
this is. We are criminals, okay? So then Ellie can respond in one of three ways. First option is Ellie can say, should I watch my back around you?
Oh.
AKA to Mona.
Oh.
Mona will say, especially me.
Oh.
Sounds like a threat. It sounds like a threat. That's all I'm saying. Ellie can then say, you don't seem dangerous to me. Mona then comments back that Ellie probably also thinks that wild animals are nice pets.
Oh. Not the naive card.
Uh huh. Ellie says that they can be with proper nurturing, and Mona says it's probably too late to tame any wild animals.
Oh my god. She's literally saying like we have no hope. Run away.
No, like she's telling Ellie like if you really think you're gonna like be busting balls and like changing Logan's life, like this is not. I just want you to know that that's not the objective here.
Oh my god.
And then, which I really appreciate how upfront Mona is being in all of these choices. And then Ellie, the last thing she can suggest is not trusting anyone sounds like a lonely life. Mona will say, well, it's a life, and there's lots of people that I know who don't have a life anymore because they trusted someone that they shouldn't have.
Oh shit.
And then Ellie will try to pry some more, but Mono continues to pull the Logan card. She's being very vague. I think my overall takeaway from this entire scene is that I think we can safely assume that we have 3 allies in this book.
Yes.
Logan,
Yes.
Mona, Colt.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We have two men, one women to pick from. So I apologize if you are a person who is into women, you have one to choose from. I apologize. This is very per the norm of Pixelberry, where they're like, "Oh, we'll do this to satisfy the gays."
And not
One.
only do you only have one woman to choose from, she already says that she will break your heart. So congrats with that. Okay.
In the first conversation, she threatens you. So, to be honest, though, aren't all 3 of these? I feel like all 3 of them at some point in these first 2 chapters have like threatened us a
Threaten
little
her.
bit.
Yeah, truly.
This is really like Ellie needs to stop looking for a life partner in this crew.
She might as well just steal Darius away from her friend and just call
Oh,
it a day, bruh.
oh my God, poor Rhea! How did Rhea become a casualty in this conversation?
I'm just saying, you walk up to Darius and be like, "You like to play shit on the safe side, so do I." I think that's just ideal for us to be together.
Oh my God, poor Rhea.
I'm joking. Yeah, I would never do that to you, baby.
Oh my God. Oof. Okay. So after this conversation, Kaneko and Colt will come out of the office. Colt looks super annoyed, and Kaneko announces that Colt will be helping at the garage during his spring break and that he will not be involved in anything else. Kaneko specifies that.
Mm-hmm.
So one, there's 2 things we can take away from here. We're getting some sense of timing. We're either in March, April. When is spring break in college again? I'm forgetting. March, April,
Yeah,
March.
it tends to be early March. Yeah,
Okay, so this is probably early March. So, what zodiac sign would that make Ellie?
early early March. If it was like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, because it's her birthday.
Uh huh.
Well, she's either an Aquarius. Well, yeah, she has to be Aquarius. Aries starts March 21st.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. She's an Aquarius. She's not
So
an
she's an
Aries sign.
Aquarius, and
You're
which
right.
is kind of ironic because they can never make up their mind about fucking anything.
Oh. Oh.
Again, we're doing generalization. I am not coming at the general population. The
If you're an Aries, please, or is it Aquarius? If you're an Aquarius, please
Aquarius.
do not get offended. Listen, we can talk shit about our own zodiac signs all motherfucking day. Like, there's a lot of things you can say about our zodiac signs, but we don't. That's not up for discussion at this moment.
Not at this moment. Not at this moment. Yeah. So definitely, yeah, we learned that he's on spring break. So
So he is still a college student.
exactly. I'm so glad you literally that's just what I was about to say because
Hmm.
to me that just added more to his character and it made me more intrigued with him because I'm like, okay, if that's the case, if you're still pursuing a degree, why did you feel like you had to come back here during this spring break? Like
A
what is
100%. Because you're like, oh, he's like half in and half out of this. Because
Oh,
like he could do
absolutely.
anything on spring break. College students can do anything they fucking want on spring break, and he's like, I'm gonna go see my dad,
I'm gonna see my criminal dad who
my mafia motherfucking dad.
yeah, who has made it very clear that he doesn't want me in the scene or like he has pushed me away essentially for some reason.
Correct.
Whether that is something that happened personally in the past or because he does not want Colt to be part of his quote unquote career, his criminal career.
Correct. And then the other thing is Kaneko is very specific in saying that Colt is gonna help at the garage and he will not be involved in anything else.
But here's the thing, he was also specific when he told Logan not to have a scratch on his car.
Oh,
So I just feel like that is not I can already see the foreshadowing of that and I'm so not prepared because I feel like that's a situation that I can't control.
yeah, no, I agree. I feel like Cole, he was upset when he walked out of that conversation. I'm like, I don't think Cole's gonna listen to you, bro.
No. No,
Sorry
he
to say
not.
it.
He not.
I'm sorry to say it, but I really don't think that, he's gonna listen to you. So then it bounces, transitions to the next scene. Everyone is cooking dinner together with Kaneko giving everyone instructions. So apparently Kaneko's fucking Gordon Ramsay out here, pointing like chop that onion, mash that garlic.
Oh my god, first of all, that was so hilarious because he okay, I have so much to say.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
First, he said you got the drop. And Ellie was like, "Oh my god, what they talked about?" They're like, "Yeah, groceries in the
Drugs.
bag." Yeah.
Drugs.
And secondly,
Mhm.
I already was like, okay, Kaneko Daddy. And then he said garlic, which is my favorite season. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
y'all eating good. Y'all is eating good. You hear me?
This is what let me tell you, not to play any stereotypes, but you cook with people of color, we know how to season it,
We
okay?
know how to season, baby. We know how to say.
We
He
know
said
how to
what?
season!
He didn't say salt and pepper. He said garlic. I said yes, please. Yes,
Garlic.
please.
Wasn't Toby mashing them, like, fresh?
Yes, yes.
He has some fresh garlic in there, baby. Oh my g oh, oh,
And first of
oh!
all, I just love the thought that they are truly creating a whole big ass dinner at midnight because I think that's when they talk about how it's a little past midnight because she says like, "Oh, we're making like a midnight late night snack." Something she says something like that, and I was like, that would make sense because like you met up with Logan at like 8, and all this has happened: the drag race, going back to the garage, them talking, and now we cooking with garlic. I was here for it. I truly was.
I'm sorry, I'm, like, pulling up the video of Ride or Die Chapter 3 because I need to see this reference. I missed that when they
I
made a
want to
mention
say
of
she
midnight.
said midnight. I'm not. Maybe she did. Maybe she said late night. Maybe she said late night.
I'm
But
looking at it right now. We're gonna confirm. Live on the episode, we're gonna confirm if this is true. I'm at the part where, Kaneko says he's starving. It just says late night dinner.
late night. Okay, late night dinner.
Right.
Okay, so late night. So
To me, anything late is anything 7 o'clock or after.
that's late to you. Listen, the pause I just gave in my head, I'm thinking 10 to midnight.
10 to mid you think eating dinner at 9 isn't late?
No, no.
Oh, honey. Okay. I'm reading it as now granted, do listen. I said late night 7 to midnight.
Right.
I don't think they're eating at 7 o'clock. They had to wait for it to get dark and they went to the
Yes.
sideshow, so it probably is like closer to like 10 or 11, if not midnight. I'm gonna say 10 or 11.
Me too. I think that as well because I think if it was midnight, they would just say midnight. So I'm thinking time frame. It's like we're at 10 to 11 right now.
I'm glad we're both keeping up with this because that's I'm glad that we're both paying attention to the time. So Ellie makes a comment that everyone seems really human, and that's just to see why her dad wants them all in prison. Which, girl,
Ignorant.
I said, wow, the ignorance.
The ignorance was so
Did you think you were just gonna walk in on them? They're gonna be slobbering like
no
dogs.
like
Like, I what? Of course, criminals eat, bitch. Like,
and of course criminals have a sense of like loyalty and commitment and family as well. So like for them
well, let me stop you there. I don't know about this crew. Loyalty.
we'll get
Let's
there.
take that off the list.
We'll get there.
Oh.
Loyalty was a very strong word, but she's like, wow, like they all cook and eat together like a family. Like I'm like, okay, child.
I'm like, what? So if they go to the buffet together, we all a family? Like, damn, just because we all cooking and eating,
Yes, that's really her idea. That's really her thought process.
she's maybe. Oh, I was about to say something really dark. Let me not say that.
Maybe she missing her dead mama.
Oh God, no, you went there.
Oh,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I said, "Ma'am, I know it's been a long time since you had a dinner with more than two people, but like
no, like truly.
that does not mean that everything's like a fantasy playtime story over here." Okay. Again, this bitch is naive.
No, really.
She says that she feels comfortable enough around them to forget that they're criminals. How what a compliment.
If she about to slip up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna tell my dad not to hunt y'all down. Like,
So I'd be like, "Daddy, I've met them. They cooked me ribs with garlic."
with garlic.
Like, how dare somebody with a seedy past have some human traits? Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so everyone is sitting around the dinner table. Everyone's laughing, smiling, having a good time. Ellie notices that Logan is just looking at her. The amount of times that this man just stares at Ellie.
It's just looking at her. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, so he's looking at her. Ellie asks him why he's staring, and Logan, makes a comment that she looks like she's having fun. She then says that it feels like everyone's a family, and Logan laughs, saying that Ellie is making it sound like a fairy tale, kind of the same shit that we were just saying a couple seconds
Right.
ago. He says that this crew isn't the first one that he's been with, and it definitely won't be the last, implying that this crew
Yes.
could be short lived again. Going back to the comment about loyalty, I don't know if they really have any. He has only been with Kaneko a year. Toby's been with the crew for 2 years. He says that situation could change at any time of the day. And he also states that sticking together usually doesn't end well for these type of crews. Ellie can either say it's smart or it's sad. What did you pick?
I think I said it's sad. I said it's sad.
Yeah, I think I also said it's sad too. If you say it's sad, Ellie will, seem surprised that Logan is willing to abandon them. Logan says that he really doesn't expect Ellie to understand because she hasn't lived his life. Ellie says that Logan deserves a family, and Logan says that life isn't really about what anyone deserves.
And that hit me so hard. When I read that, I was like, "Ooh, Logan, okay."
It's
True.
heartbreaking.
It is, but it's so true. Like, it is so true.
Oh, 100%. Like, and this is one thing that I really like about Logan in this chapter is like, I mean, we're gonna get to later scenes, but just to use this one as an example, Ellie's like, I don't understand you, and he's like, I don't want you to understand.
Yes,
I'm not trying to get you to empathize with my feelings. What
yes,
I am
yes.
trying to do is I am trying to express to you how I live, which I feel like is 100% a reasonable and a very mature and adult boundary to set up for your relationship, you know?
Absolutely, because there's one thing, like, in order for you to understand who I am, where I came from, what I do, why I do it, you have to go through what I do or what I've went through. And if I care about you enough, I would not want that on you. So that is like so like it gave me chills for him to be like, no, like I don't expect you, nor do I want you to. I'm just telling you what I do and that's it. Don't expect this to be a fairy tale because it's not. It's not worked out before. It probably won't work out now and I have a lot of past experiences that show that it's not going to work out. But that's not something that you'll never understand it. So let's just like move
Correct.
forward. And I was like,
Correct.
Okay, Logan."
No, I really respected that response. And then Ellie can also say it's smart. If you choose that option, Ellie will say that she's glad that Logan is looking out for himself because she doesn't want him to get hurt. I don't really think I would if I had to make a guess, I would assume most players said sad and not smart.
Yeah, same.
So later on, Ellie is helping clean up. Logan and Cole are butting heads. I'm like, if y'all don't just kiss.
No, I'm saying, are they in a relationship? Like,
I'm like, if y'all don't just kiss, I swear to God.
is that why he hasn't brought any girls around? Because he dated
Oh,
Cole? Like,
oh, and they're just pretending for the sake of it that they don't know each other. So Mona will interrupt and says they can either continue bickering or they can play pool, and then Logan will invite you to play pool. This is the diamond scene. Did you take it?
yes, I did.
Okay. So Mona will split the teams in this diamond scene. She'll split the teams up to girls versus boys. Logan warns Ellie that he's not going to let her win because he's never been much of a gentleman. To which Ellie responds, that much is obvious. And then Logan will say that he's competitive and used to winning, which I don't know about you, but whenever men are like, I'm competitive, I just roll my eyes. Like, I'm just like, that's not attractive.
No, it's not.
It's so being competitive is not an attractive trait. I don't know why men, and I'm not saying this just because of Logan, but I'm saying this as a woman who has been on dating apps where every man has that option where it's like, what are you overly competitive about? And they're like, everything. That's not cute.
Right.
That's not cute. Let me tell you, if you're somebody who has everything under that question prompt, log into Bumble. Give you the instructions, log into Bumble, hit edit profile, and remove that question from your fucking profile. It's not attractive. So yeah, I just kind of rolled my eyes when he said that. I was like, sure, whatever. No one cares. The crew starts playing. There are plenty of opportunities to flirt with all three allies, and there's lots of opportunities to talk smack to all of them. It's a cute scene.
It is. It is.
During this scene, you can tease Colt and ask him why he's so obsessed with you.
I
If you
did.
ask him that, he gets very flustered.
Yeah, like I'm talking about back talk. Quiet. Ain't no back talk.
And this is the first time we've, really seen him get flustered.
Exactly, and that's when I was like, "Oh, you like me. Oh, you like
Uh-huh.
me." I said, "Oh, you like me. You so hush mouth right now,
We
goofy."
we said something that you could not respond to, and it's kind of nice to like trip him off, see him off
No,
balance a little
it was
bit.
very nice.
It was very nice. It's very endearing. That's probably like the one time if you're playing this game and the entire time you're like, you know what, fuck Colt, I don't like this man. That's probably the one time you're like, oh, that was kind of cute.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then Logan interrupts one of Ellie's shots, right before they end the game. So he says that she seems really confident and they should place a bet. She can make one of two bets. She can either say the winner gets a kiss or that the loser runs around the block in their underwear. Which one do you pick?
I said kiss.
If you say kiss, Hemina will warn Ellie that Logan is going to try extra hard to win because, he becomes laser focused when he wants something. Now, of course, did you win or did you lose?
I won.
Okay. If you win, Logan will kiss her in front of the crew. They describe it like, oh, he's grabbing onto her so tight, he's like balling up her clothes in his hands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then like Toby will just cheer Ellie's win on. If she loses, Logan will be like, oh, I won. I need some privacy. So he like grabs Ellie, pulls her out into the alleyway, which, first of all, I just have to say, there's this interaction. So Logan will say, oh, he has to collect on his bet in privacy. Toby will be like, oh, boo. And then Hemina will say, Toby, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why do you want to watch these kids make out?
Oh my god.
It's like truly, I think most people win in this scene. Like, if you do take this diamond scene, most people win because it's not a challenging diamond scene to win. I personally find losing for both of these two options more satisfying and more endearing than winning, personally. And I like this interaction because you're kind of like, it's just, I don't know, it's just something funny. Like, why Toby want to watch y'all make out? Weird little fucker. So Logan will take Ellie in the back and kiss her. It's described as like a very slow and like sensual kiss under the stars. It's cute. Now, the option I always pick whenever I play is I always say the loser has to run around the block in their underwear. Um, so if you win, Logan, strips off his clothing. Ellie notices he has like some of these like scars on the side of his body that are like really deep. And Ellie can tell that they have healed like a while ago. They're not fresh. He will strip and run around the block. It's a very cute scene. And then if Ellie loses, she starts to kind of like reluctantly take off her clothing. She's acting very embarrassed, and Logan will be like, "Listen, I can tell you're embarrassed. If you want, I can join you. We can do this together."
That's so fucking cute.
It's adorable, right? And then Mona will comment that Logan never really needs a reason to take off his clothes.
Oh my god.
And they will run around the block. Their cars will honk at them. Logan will yell back at them, saying, we just getting in some cardio late at night. Don't worry about it. They'll come back into the garage. They're laughing, and Ellie will be like, you know what? You are gentlemen. It's very cute.
Fuck, that is a better scene. Why is losing the better scene?
I don't know why. Like, I've always won. And then, like, when I was replaying it, like, my third or fourth time, I was like, let me just lose intentionally. I just want to see what happens. And it's so cute. It's so cute. If y'all want to see it, there are a couple, there's maybe like one or two playthroughs that actually, show the scene, but I think it's pretty rare that people have recorded the playthrough, got the diamond scene, picked that bet, and then lost.
Right.
So I did take screenshots of all of it. I'll post it on Tumblr if y'all want to see like the actual writing. So that's what I'll do. So like I said, I personally enjoy the losing scenes more than the winning scenes.
Right.
And then if you don't take the diamond scene, Logan will just sit out playing pool too. Like he'll be like, you know what? I don't need to play pool. Y'all have fun. And then he'll just sit down beside you and watch the game with you, which again I think is very like he says he's not a gentleman, but some of these things that he's doing
No,
are
he's such a gentleman. I don't even know why he said that.
they're very gentleman-like, you
Right.
know. So later on, Ellie is still hanging out with the crew. It's at this point that I started to ask myself, how late are we all hanging out? Like, what is it, like midnight, 1 a.m. at this point? I'm
No,
like,
it has to be. It has to be.
so Toby asks Ellie what her favorite car is. Ellie will act confused because obviously, she doesn't know much about cars. Colt will tease Ellie, sarcastically stating that Ellie knows all about cars. There's one of two options. She can either agree with Toby or she can say she doesn't know much about cars. Which one do you pick?
Again, we are faced with dancing on the truth or just the biggest lie you could. One question could debunk that, like about like her knowing all about cars. So I was like, we just gonna stick with the truth. I said, look, y'all, I don't know nothing about no damn cars. I ain't even got my license.
Yeah, no, it is really ridiculous. Like I just truly do not understand. Like you said, everything is either the truth or dancing on the truth or a complete like 180 lie. I don't
Like,
know
really,
why.
really.
I don't know why like they do this. So I'm assuming that you also just straight up said like I don't know much about cars,
Oh yeah, same. I said because they got one time to ask me what a fucking alternator is, and I'm gonna be like, well,
bitch. You asked me, oh, what do you think about this car's engine? I'm like, it works.
it works. It vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. It turns on. It works. So if you say that, Toby will tell, Ellie it's okay. Colt will comment that, at least Ellie is honest, and then Ellie will admit that she doesn't know how to drive and she doesn't even have a license due to her father. Toby will then literally spit out his drink, and Hemina will, just very she'll be like, oh sweetie, oh poor you,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now let's say we back it up. Now she agrees with Toby. If she says, I agree with Toby, Colt will then continue to press Ellie. He's like, oh, do you want to like share with the class then on what you agree with? Provide some more details. Logan will get defensive. He tells Colt to, back off of Ellie, which I don't, honestly, to me, that's pretty endearing. Because he knows that I'm lying, but he's like, I won't, listen, don't embarrass yourself.
Right, right, right. He's like, my baby not about to make a fool in front of everybody.
Exactly. Colt will then you kind of retort back saying that Ellie's a big girl and she can stand up for herself, and it's at that point that Ellie will admit the truth. So either way, she admits the truth. It's just like, is she gonna fake it or not? I was like, okay, poser. Um, I just don't understand. I'm like, girl, like you can lie one time, but I mean, I don't know. Like to me, if I'm in this situation where someone's like, oh, do you know about this? I'm gonna just straight up be like, no.
No, like, why would you? No,
You are literally in a group conversation of people who are like experts about this topic. Why are
experts.
you lying?
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
That's like me going up to my high school biology teacher now as an adult and being like, I understand mitosis. Bitch, I forgot about that shit years ago. They ain't gonna be like, oh really, what you know about mitosis? I'm gonna be like, uh. You know what? I apologize for starting this conversation. And that's really what I feel like Ellie did if
Yeah,
she
she just
chooses to
embarrassed
lie.
herself.
Just embarrass yourself. Like you're gonna get caught in the next 30 seconds anyways.
Can you
Especially because Colt,
imagine?
Colt is gunning after her.
No, for real. Can you imagine her losing the pool and then someone trying to make her lie? Like, stop.
Oh, oh my god,
You
that'd
em-
be such an embarrassing night.
you embarrassing her in front of everybody.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that. Um, yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like she's trying to make a good impression, and losing, I would not say is a bad impression. It's just a game. Like it's not that
Right.
serious. But if you lie about knowing cars, like homegirl, come on,
They're
come
gonna be like,
on.
she can't play pool. She don't know about cars. She lying about it. Like, Logan, what are you
She's
lying
lying to us. They're gonna be like, what is it about this bitch? They said this is the first girl you brought, and it's her.
about?
It's her. So then after this, the same scene will play out where like she reveals to everybody that she doesn't know how to drive. Logan will then offer to teach Ellie how to drive. So he takes her out, starts showing her around the car, and he very quickly suggests that she takes over because he's like, you only learn by doing. He walks her through the steps, and soon enough the car is moving. So Ellie, she's very excited. This is a very cute scene. She's a driver. Congratulations.
No, that part killed me. Where she moved that engine, he was like, "You're a driver now." I'm like, "She's not." Like,
It's cute though. Like of course she's not a driver, but it is cute because he's trying to be like, congratulations, like you moved your car forward. It's cute. I think it's so fucking cute. Um, Logan will offer to teach Ellie some other skills, which is like yet again another diamond scene. Did you take this one?
I did. I did.
Okay. So first he teaches her how to reverse. He makes a comment that Ellie should always be watching her back. So this is like again the second motherfucking time someone in this chapter has told her to watch her back if you chose the appropriate dialogue options when talking to Mona. And then he just makes a comment she should always check her rearview mirrors. He will then tell Ellie that they should take this drive slow so they can avoid a car crash. Ellie will make like a somewhat sarcastic comment saying that it's like pretty ironic that Logan, someone who she considers to be a pretty reckless person, is telling her to be slow. I was like, oh girl, you bold for saying this.
No, for real.
Okay, so then she states that the night before, where they're running away from the cops, is serving as evidence that Logan is reckless because they were lucky to get away from the cops. Logan will then tell her, "We weren't lucky. I was ready." I said, "Huh?" I said, "You know what, sir? That sounds like a threat."
No, it does. It really does. It's so funny because when he said that, I just felt like a little like apprehensive. Like that didn't seem like I don't know. Like I wasn't like, oh yeah, Logan. I said, what do you mean you were ready? The fuck? Like what is that?
No, that didn't sit well in my soul, like at
I'm over
all.
here like, did you? Are you the one who called the cops at the party? Is that like?
Right. I'm like, what do you mean you were ready? Okay, SpongeBob. Like, someone please explain. When he said that, I said, "Oh, that's a threat." No, I was, and it's truly the first time I played this book and I read that line, I said, "What the fuck does he mean by that?" And then there was no option to ask him what he meant by it. I said, "Damn, bitch, I guess we just." I don't know if he means like I was ready because I've always been chased by the cops, so I know what to do. But I was like, "Sir,
he
I
could
don't
have.
like
He
that
could have said
response."
more. Right. He could have did more than yeah.
He left it at "I was ready," and that's what I really do not like about this fucking conversation. So then Logan will kind of after he says that, he'll like instinctively touch his necklace. Ellie will ask him about it, so he'll be like, "Oh my god, I mean, he didn't say this, but the way that the book described it was like he didn't even realize he was touching his necklace, but he
No,
shows it
like
to
literally,
you."
he's like, it's oh that's so crazy. It's just second nature at this point. Like,
Right. He's like, "Oh, whenever I get stressed, I just touch this." He reveals that he's wearing a spark plug, which hold on, let me Google what the fuck a spark plug is. Do you know what a spark plug is?
yeah, it's help. It's used to start your car, and like there's certain spark plugs that help transfer electricity to like the task that needs to be done, like
Hmm.
rolling down your windows, starting your car, the radio. Like you have a spark plug panel that tends to be to the left underneath your steering wheel. That is just used for stuff like that.
Okay, Logan. I did not know. Thank you. He says that he was 15 and he got into some trouble and he ran and then he let his emotions take over. He lost control of the car. He ended up totaling it and he said he was lucky that he even survived. And he made a promise to himself that he would never lose control again and that he didn't want to leave anything up to luck. So no matter how fast he's going, he always feels like he's in control, which is what makes the speed thrilling as opposed to like scary.
Right.
That's why he's like, we need to not get into a car crash. Like that's the one thing that I can't emotionally handle is another car crash. Ellie states, she says like that's why you would walk away from, and then you have two options: either say your crew or you, like you as an Ellie. What'd you pick?
I said the crew.
Okay, so if you say the crew, Ellie will say that's why Logan doesn't believe in loyalty because if he did, then he wouldn't be in control of the situation. Logan will agree, saying that he needs to know that he can leave any situation as
Hmm.
soon as he needs to.
Hmm.
And then Ellie makes a comment saying that Logan can't depend on anyone, and Logan says, there are pros and cons, and this is a con.
Right.
The pros and cons of the lifestyle I live. Now, I think I also picked the crew, but there were some playthroughs that I watched where they said me. If you say me, Logan will like start stuttering and he'll like start to be like, "Oh, that's not what I meant." And
Right.
then Ellie will be like, "No, no, like I get it." Then she says, "Logan, you can try to control everything in your life, but you can't control how you feel." And she says, "That's probably why you think I'm so dangerous." And he doesn't say anything, and she's like, "No, like answer me." So then they describe like after she asks him like, "Do you think that I'm dangerous because you feel like you like can't walk away from me?"
Right.
What basically what she's implying is, "Do you feel like I am dangerous because you feel like you can't walk away from me?" So Logan like looks away. They describe like the muscles in his neck like tensing up. And then he's like, "We're getting distracted." And then he like pivots back to the
Oh.
driving lesson. So he then asks her to do a figure eight around two lampposts. Once this is done, Logan will apologize for shutting Ellie out. Ellie says that she gets the sense that Logan doesn't want her to know the real him, which, girl, I'm glad we finally said something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He admits that that's true and points out how different they are, that Ellie's a valedictorian and that Logan never even went to high school. He reveals that he was born in prison and he doesn't know where his mom is and that she could very well still be in prison. He says, "I didn't have anything. I wasn't anybody, and I knew that. I always knew that."
That fucking killed me.
Woo!
God.
The emotion.
Yeah. Really, truly though. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where I said that we will, learn more about his character and why loyalty is just such a hard concept for him. And it's because like he's never like coming from the womb, he's never had loyalty. He doesn't know what that is. That's so foreign to him.
Right, he's like never had a family.
Right. And like just uh
And then also this whole thing, like in the last chapter, he was like, I have something to prove to everybody. It's because he has this thought in his head where he's like, I'm literally fucking nobody.
yeah,
I
yeah.
come from nothing. So everything that I'm worth is has everything to do with how I behave and act in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a last name to rely on. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have money to rely on. I don't have a family to rely on. I don't have a stable house to rely on. He's like, everything I do is just, I have to prove myself every single fucking time.
Yeah.
Because if I fuck up, people aren't going to be interested in me anymore. It's a very emotional response.
Oh, absolutely. I truly like I couldn't click to continue for a second.
Yeah, no. So you just had to kind of sit on
Yeah, I
that like
definitely
dialogue for a
had
little
to
bit. Yeah,
digest that. Yeah.
absolutely. So Ellie will seem sympathetic, and Logan tells her that he hates being pitied. He just wants her to understand like how he grew up and how he kind of processes survival.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie will say that she doesn't want to mess anything up for Logan, and Logan will say that her saying that drives him crazy because he kind of like wants Ellie to mess things up for him.
Yes, yes.
Like he's like, "Girl, take me out of this pattern that I'm in where like I'm just here to impress bitches. Like just please tell me that I don't need to do this anymore."
Allow me to stop thinking about Colt, please.
Oh, distract me from the man that I have a crush on.
Okay.
So you can either kiss or comfort him. I think probably we both kissed him.
Of course, of
How do
course.
you again, I
How do
understand
you
that some people are
not?
not into Logan, but how do you not? This man just said I was born in prison. You're like, "Oh, you know what, baby? Come here."
I'm here, like he literally said, I knew from my earliest memories that I am not shit and I was never gonna be shit. Like, how do you not comfort that and kiss him and just be like, "You're my shit," okay? Like,
You're my wow, that's so romantic. You're my shit. I'm fucking done with you. Yeah, I just feel like here's the thing because, even if you try to verbalize, your sympathy towards him, or is it empathy? Is empathy the one where you don't understand, but you're
empathy's
trying to express?
no, that's sympathy.
Okay, sympathy. She's trying to express her sympathy, and, Logan just straight up stopped her and he was like, I don't want that. He's like, I just
Yes.
want you to listen and like understand where I'm coming from. Like you have to know where I come from in order to understand like why I behave the way I behave. And so it's like you already there's really like also I very frequently feel this way about other people when they tell me something really sad. I have a hard time again. I'm very much like Logan where like if I tell somebody something tragic that happened in my life, I mean, obviously, Lucas, you and I have known each other for a very long time.
Mhm.
We both know that we've both been through some shit in life.
Mhm.
I don't think either of us want to tell somebody and then they grab us and they're like, you know what? I'm so sorry that happened to you. At least I don't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, nobody who's been through anything wants to be looked at like a victim, especially if you have recovered from that.
Right.
It's probably really helpful to like hear if you're, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll just say me and you
Right.
and Logan. We don't want to hear the sorry. We want to say what happened to us. That way you can understand like where our brain is coming from when we say and do certain things. Because trauma is always going to impact you for life. The idea of like getting over something traumatic, it's not like, oh, she processed it for 2 weeks, she's good now. No, you're always going to operate with that baseline of like what happened to you. And that's what Logan's trying to describe is like
Mhm.
this is my fucking life.
Mhm.
And so for me in real life, whenever I've come up on those situations, like I don't tell people that I'm sorry that it happened to them. Do I feel that in my heart? Yes. I don't tell them that because no one wants to fucking hear that.
No one wants to hear that. I say you are doing the best that you can right now and it shows and you're doing a good job and like you just should feel proud of where you are now. Because again, trauma is all about a journey and you trying to get over it and like if someone shares that with you, you can't say like, "Oh, like I'm sorry you went through that because, like, again, in the range of recovery, you don't know where they're at.
Right.
Just always tell them that, like, you're doing good for who you are now because, like, everyone needs validation that, like, they are doing good in that sense. Like, no one wants to hear, like, when I hear, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you went through that," I literally just, like, define that as, "Wow, that sucks for you. I probably will never go through that."
Which I wanna clarify, we're not saying that's what people mean when they
Yeah,
say
we're not
that.
yeah,
We're
no, no, no.
saying that as people who have been through trauma, that, like,
Yes.
pity is oftentimes not that helpful, and we're not speaking for everybody, we're just saying for, Logan and for the 2 of us that we do not find that comment helpful. There
Right,
has
right.
been times where I have expressed trauma to someone, and to me, the most helpful thing that someone has said to me in response to me expressing trauma is they have just told me, like, "Thank you for sharing that, because that has helped me." Like, you
Yes.
saying that you went through this has helped me because I've also been through the same thing, but I have never said it the way that you have.
Mhm.
That's personally what I find helpful. So for me, it's like Logan has already told you, his one pity, and there's no option for really Ellie to be like, "Oh, well, thank you for sharing that." So it's like the only other thing that you can do is try to comfort him in some way. And obviously, we're attracted to him, so we're gonna give him a little kiss, kiss.
Right.
We're gonna give him a little smooch. Okay.
Mhm.
If you kiss him, he doesn't really respond at first, and then he pulls you into the seat with him. I was like, ooh,
Mhm.
woo.
Mhm. That when he did that, I was like, "Yeah, I made the right choice." Like,
Because sometimes you're sitting there like, I don't know, is this the appropriate time to kiss? Girl, I don't know.
it's so funny, there's this book called The Gravity of Us, which such an amazing book. It's a gay book. But the one of the main characters, his love interest, he tells him, he's like, "Yeah, like, I suffer from depression, like this and this, and like, you know, these cameras are constantly on us and I feel like I can't show like my authentic self." And he like leans in to kiss him. And his love interest said, "Don't kiss me because I just opened up to you. Like that's not
Oh,
the time to kiss me."
oh.
He's like, "Kiss me when you're like incandescently happy with who we are." And I was just like, "Oh." So when I kissed Logan and there was just that slight hesitation, I was like, "Okay, I fucked up a little bit. All right, I understand, my bad." And then it was like he grabs you and pulls you from the driver's seat on top of him. And I said, "Never mind, never mind, never mind."
Kissing really is like a risque choice in this scenario because I think for me, I to me, a kiss is just like a surge of emotions, right? So to
Hmm.
me, like if you share something with me that is emotional, I'm gonna want to kiss you.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that's just how my brain works. It's always been like that. Like there was a very well, not very recent, but there was a somewhat recent scenario where this man that I'm attracted to, he was telling me about how he was just having a hard couple of weeks, and I just kissed him. Like I was just like, I hope that
Yes.
made you feel better.
Me. That is like literally that's me. Like I just feel like every actions speak louder than the words. So if I'm sitting here rubbing your fucking shoulder, like, "Oh, I'm here for you. Like, I'm so sorry." No, like I could just kiss you and just show that, like, I'm here. I understand. You know,
Right.
little, emotional kiss.
And
Um,
that's not for everybody. That is
it's
not for
not.
everybody. Everybody has a different love language. For me, that's how I choose to express
Hmm.
myself. And it's not all physical. Like I said some comforting things to him, and then kissed him. It wasn't like I was just like shut up and kissed him. But for some people, like, that's useful. For some people, it isn't. So you're right. Kissing is absolutely a risque choice in this
Hmm.
scenario. I
Hmm.
went for it,
I did. I did.
and he ends up going for it too.
I think
So
right, right. So obviously our energy is matching, and that is the most important thing.
exactly, the vibe, immaculate.
Mhm, mhm. It's here.
Right, and then at some point in the makeout, he'll stop you two, saying that he knows that it's moving too fast. Ellie's kind of like, "Girl, I don't know, I like it though."
Yes, again, like she's here for the thrill a little bit because
Exactly.
it's just so crazy because I understand what you were saying when they kind of like, force feed you Logan, but in
Mhm.
the same sense, like I wish Ellie was a little bit more grounded because that was not the time to say that. Like I just wish there was an option that we could have chose. But he literally was like, "Wow, like we're moving, fast." And she's like, "I like fast." I'm like, "Ugh, Ellie, the fuck? Stop being
Yeah, no.
bad."
I agree with you. Like, this man just opened up and he was like, "Oh my God, I've only known you for 48 hours. I just told you I was born in prison."
Yeah, no, like literally, and she's like, "Vroom, vroom, vroom," like no.
Vroom, vroom, we going 100 on this bitch. And Ellie was like, "Oh, I think it's so hot." Did you
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. If
did
you
you
bought her
open
a
up to
dildo.
me? Oh my God. I was like, "Girl, it's not the time. You trying to sexualize this man. He going through
Exactly,
trauma."
exactly. Literally exactly.
I do feel like a hypocrite saying that though, because we really literally just talked about how we express our connection physically. So for well, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, like
It's a thin line.
if someone is telling you they're going too fast, it's the thing about consent, right?
Right,
Like
right.
it's the thing about like if they say you're going too fast, you got to be like, I'm comfortable with this pace, but if you don't want to, let's back off.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all about consent. Now, reading the dialogue, I will say whenever I read Logan's dialogue saying that it's going too fast, I read it as him kind of like looking at Ellie and be like, I know this is going too fast for you. This is kind of the first time talking through this chapter with you. This is kind of the first time that I've reconsidered and been like, maybe it is going too fast for him.
Right.
Because
Right.
I always interpreted that line as it's I feel, I as in Logan. I, Logan, feel as though I am pulling you into the seat. We kissing, I'm kissing your neck. We're all over each other. And then I see it as him pausing and being like, this is probably too fast for you. This is the first time that I've really ever taken a step back and reconsidered, like, maybe Logan isn't ready for this.
Okay, and this is why this is kind of like my train of thought that had happened, right?
Uh huh.
Because I was worried in a sense that the reason why he pulled me so aggressively into his lap and we were making out was because he was trying to overcompensate the fact that he just opened up.
Absolutely.
So my focus was on that, and then for her to just basically say like, "No, it's okay. I like to ride at 100 miles per hour." I was like,
Oh,
"Fuck, Ellie, God, fuck."
yeah, no, like he's like, and again, like I think it's very similar to what we said is that like sometimes intimacy can be fueled by like opening up to somebody and feeling, Ellie wasn't sitting here judging him. I'm sure he was like nervous to say that he was like
Oh
born in
yeah,
prison. And he just straight up told her like he straight up said, I feel like I came from nothing.
right.
So I'm sure he was nervous. She didn't react in a way that was negative. So he's probably like, oh my God, I'm a little, he's feeling some things right now.
Yeah, absolutely,
He's
absolutely.
feeling a lot of emotions. He probably
And you
reveals some
also have
stuff.
to understand, just take that moment away. She just met his crew, which
Yes.
already in itself is huge.
And they just met 48 hours ago.
There's so many layers to that one comment, and Ellie just fucked it up, and I'm really mad now.
I like to. First of all, when you said I like riding at 100 miles per hour, I thought you said, "Oh, I like to ride." I was like, "Oh, I didn't get that from her." I said, "Damn, you really out here making Ellie be a freak."
Oh god.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit ill-timed. There was a better way where she could have said, I personally like the pace we're taking it at, but if
Right,
you want to
right.
stop, like we can pump the brakes a little bit, like we can stop. But that is not what she said. I'm with you on that one. So after, he says he's moving too fast, he will ask Ellie what is she doing in a car with a guy like him. Ellie will say it's the only places she wants to be. Very emotional diamond scene. The only critique that I'll say, I feel like character development like this should not be behind a paywall.
Yes, 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 yes. Because listen,
This is so crucial to his character. Why do I have to pay diamonds in order to like
figure that out. Here's the gag. I said it's a huge joke, really, because I'm like, someone's gonna teach this bitch how to drive, of course I'm gonna pay diamonds. I did that jokingly. And then this
mhm,
whole scene unfolded, and I said, now why the fuck do I have to pay for this?
exactly. Like at first you're just like, "Oh, she's just like learning how to start a car." And it's like, "Okay, that the trope of pay diamonds to gain a skill is something that Pixelberry does often." So for me, I'm like, "Okay, we're paying a skill." But then I remember the little pop-up that showed before like you actually got the option to pay for diamonds. There's this little pop-up where it says you'll have the option to learn how to drive
Yes.
and
Yes.
also get to know the characters,
Yes.
which I feel like major character development, not something that should be behind a diamond paywall. Because, I mean, we'll get to this, but I was reading Reddit comments about this chapter, and there were some people who were just really hating on it, saying that Logan has no depth. And someone responded back, and they're like, "How could you say that when he literally just said all of this?" And they were like, "See, I didn't know that because I didn't pay the diamonds for this character.
Got you.
Major background should not be behind a diamond paywall.
I
That's
agree.
cheap. To
I
me, that's a
completely
cheap
agree.
move.
Yeah.
Diamonds should be for sex scenes and they should be for bonus scenes where you learn tiny little details about someone's life. Like something
Yes.
that would make you feel more intimate after having it been revealed, but not something that like makes or breaks a character. I feel like these details of like Logan being born in prison, Logan like literally coming from
Hmm.
nothing, all of these are very essential to his character. Why are we putting it behind a paywall?
Absolutely.
It irritates me. It irritates me. Um Okay, so then after the diamond scene ends, Logan will start the car again. He will make a comment that if she keeps up with the practice, she'll be one of them. This is where the scene turns sideways.
It does. Real fucking quick. We did a
Real motherfucking quick.
real fucking quick. This is the 0 to 100.
Yes. So then Ellie will ask him what he means. Logan will freeze and he'll be like, "Oh, I just meant like a good driver."
Yeah, see, that's when I was like,
First
mm.
of all, listen, sir. Listen. There's a lot of shit that you've been very vague about. And I know you're probably already emotionally exhausted because you have just revealed a lot about your life. Don't fucking play with me.
Don't play with me. Don't play
Don't
with
play with me. I'm not stupid. What you say here? Oh, I just meant that you would be a good driver. Bitch, I swear to God, are we still in the driver's seat? If we're still in the driver's seat, I will literally slam this car into a wall. Don't fucking lie to me.
don't be fucking coy. Like the fuck?
Don't try to be cute. Oh, I just meant that he was a good driver. No, 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 sir. We about to talk about this, okay?
We are. I pushed it. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's just start off because you and I both were like, no. But let's just assume that Ellie just goes, oh, okay. Pretty much it's just her inner monologue. She just says that she's afraid to let out the truth. She doesn't want to ruin the moment. And then Logan will ask to take her home. Now, if you pick the option that we picked, no, you didn't. Logan will pretend that he doesn't know what she's talking about. He'll be like, oh, what do you mean by that? Ellie, the fucking notes that I wrote for this scene. Ellie will comment that she knows what he is. This whole scene, can we just say, gives me very Twilight vibes.
Twilight, bitch, fucking Twilight. Like,
Very
literally,
Twilight vibes.
the last sentence where he was like, she was like, I know what you are. I was like, oh my,
No, he literally says, I know what you are. I know what you do. And Logan is like, what is that then? It's
yes,
very like Bella and Edward, where she's like, I know what you are. And he's like,
say
well, then
it
say it.
out loud.
Say it out loud if you know what I am.
A vampire.
A car thief.
A criminal.
A criminal. I'm like, all right, Bella. Okay.
No, truly, I
Okay.
really rolled my eyes at that part. I said, now is not the time to like really jump on this bandwagon cliche. Like, we need to get to the
Yes.
okay.
I said some of these writers, they really do take such inspiration from other like movies. I'm like, man, it shows sometimes.
And this just goes back to our first episode together, where I was like, sometimes some of the chapters are very just like fan fictiony, and this is
Uh-huh.
it. Like, I'm
This
like,
is a fan fiction I know what you are. I know what you do. Oh my god. Sometimes the
and
writing
it's
in this
just
book.
so like, even if Logan had a different response, like, okay, well, then how about you tell me about it? Or just something different than what he said, it might have saved it.
What do you feel like he could have said? Like reconstruct his response to make this a better scene, please.
Okay, so if I was Logan, if he was trying to still be serious but have that cute flirty side, I would say something like, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it then. Like, if we are not beating around the bush, and that is also a blanket for him, because what if she was like, yeah, a secret chef, I saw the way you handled those ribs. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like
A secret chef?
a secret chef.
I know what you do. I know what you are. You're a chef.
Secret chef. If he had said something like, okay, then, like, just anything else.
Just literally anything.
Literally anything else to keep this from being a cliche.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I don't think Logan's gonna talk like that. I feel like the most realistic thing I could see him saying it without it being the exact dialogue is I could see Ellie being like, "I know what you are," and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." If someone ran up on me and they said, "I know who you are, V," I would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, like, truly,
I
like.
would literally, I could see both of us just standing there and being like, "Who? I'm confused. I'm sorry. Can we back up?" What do you mean you know what I am? A human? I'm confused. Yeah, I personally, it's crazy because sometimes I go back and I read these Reddit comments and I'm like, oh my God, why did everyone hate Ride or Die so much? I'm like, what? And then I read these scenes and I'm like, you know what? If you don't pick the diamond scenes, because if you're not sold into this book, you're obviously not going to pick the diamond scenes. If you don't pick the diamond scenes, I 100% see why people were ragging on this dialogue.
Yes, yes.
It's not always bad, but when it's bad, it's
It's
bad.
bad. It's bad.
It's bad. Um, so then, continuing down this line of dialogue, Ellie will say that she knows they're car thieves and that she's not stupid. She says that she doesn't think they're bad people, and then Logan will, stop her and say, I never had a choice. It was either between a life of crime or homelessness. Which this scene makes me feel so bad.
Yeah.
Cause like
Yes. Yes.
on one hand, I understand why Ellie confronted him and is like, listen, you straight up said one of us.
Right.
Let's be for real what you mean by that. But then
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I also feel like it's not a situation where Ellie comes out as a hero because you have essentially backed this man into a corner.
Yeah, really.
And he wasn't going to tell you what it was. And then the first time that he does respond to you about the topic, he's like, listen, it's either this or homelessness. And you can feel him getting defensive.
Yeah.
And like, oof, it's not a feel good scene. It's not a scene where you're like, oh, I enjoy that scene. Like it's uncomfortable. It's purposefully uncomfortable.
It's like, what did I do? What did I just do?
Right. Like I get it. I'm not saying that Ellie's wrong for approaching it the way that she did. I do disagree with something that she says later on in the scene, but we'll get there. I don't think that she's wrong for approaching it the way that she did because honestly, I understand. Like to me, it's like, listen, first of all, I kind of don't understand. Let me back that up. You
Correct.
in the car alone with a criminal that you've known for less than 48 hours and you gonna confront him? I would be so scared he gonna pull a Glock out on me. So first of all, I don't understand. But because Ellie has no common sense, we've established that Ellie has no common sense. Because she has no common sense, I understand why she approached it in the way she did because she's trying to be like, listen, I'm not dumb.
Right, right.
Be for real with me. Don't lie to me. When you say one of us, and honestly, that's where I start to go back and I'm like, that's Logan's fault because he let it slip.
He did. He did.
He let
He
it
actually
slip.
tried it. I'm like, what is your ulterior motive? You trying to make me a criminal with you? We about to.
One of us. I'm about to. I thought I was meeting your friends. What you mean?
Yeah,
We in a
really.
gang now?
Your friends
We
that are
gang gang?
friends.
Oh my god. So yeah, no. I mean, I just feel like it's a very uncomfortable scene all around.
Oh, it is.
I personally feel like Logan's response to this is very like Robin Hood esque.
Oh, it is. It is.
He's like, we only steal from the rich. And Allie's like, listen, bitch, you ain't Robin Hood.
Yeah, no, like literally calls him out.
She says, the crew is really only making money for themselves. So she's like, you're not Robin Hood. And that it doesn't make what he's doing right. Listen, let's just go through the scene and then we can talk about our feelings. I feel like I feel like we need to make it to the end before we can dissect everything that's happening here.
Okay, I'm with it.
So Logan agrees that it is a right, but it does make him feel better about stealing. And Ellie can say two things. She can either say, I understand why you feel like you have to do this, to which Logan seems kind of shocked. Ellie will say that the world hasn't treated Logan fairly, so she understands why he would feel like he shouldn't treat the world fairly. And then Ellie can also say, I think you could be better than this. Logan will tell her that it's very wishful thinking on her part. Ellie tells Logan he has a good heart. Logan says that's a cliche and that he doesn't want to disappoint Ellie if she truly does think that he has a good heart. And he says, he kind of alludes to the fact that there was someone who did trust him and he let them down. So
Right,
he's like, don't make me disappoint you.
right.
Ellie will then say that she wishes that he had told her the truth, and then Logan says that he didn't because he thought she would leave him before she saw anything that made him worthy. He also says that he's sure that she has some secrets too. And this is when Ellie is like, oh shit, my daddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I like the definitely like the second half of the scene. Like this
Mm-hmm.
very like this rapid, response. And like when he was like, like I'm pretty sure you have secrets. I said, we need to stop talking right now. We need to
I was like, that conversation's over. You know what? I'm sorry I said anything. That's another part of it. To bring it back to like if we agree with Ellie bringing this up, I'm like, girl, you confront him. You have some shit of your own. Like,
no, like literally, like I'm like,
don't come for Logan's throat when you can't even get your own shit right. Okay.
no, truly, truly.
So yeah, no, it's just ooh, he kind of comes for her a little bit. It literally says in the dialogue when Ellie thinks about her dad, she's like, I'm gonna try not to let my face betray me.
No, like literally.
And then Logan kind of locks eyes with her, and again, this man with his staring. Ellie is kind of the first one to break contact. I personally perceived him locking eyes with her as being like, "Tell me something, bitch."
Yes, same, same.
I feel like he was trying to stare her down, trying to be like, "Uh-huh, don't you have your own secret?" And she's like,
Uh-huh.
she just kind of vaguely is like, "Yeah, we all do, babe. It's fine. I'm sorry I even brought it up."
No, like literally, and like that was the safe bet because I'm like, as much as we want Logan to open up, what we see from him at face value, like, oh hey, I drive cars really fast and I'm with the crew. Okay, that's we can gather that. The same could be said about us. Oh, smart girl who might be just using me for a thrill.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for bringing that up. That's another thing we could discuss.
Mm-hmm. So I'm over here like, oof, I can't badger him about him opening up when in retrospect, like the only thing that I could open up about is the same thing that would create a wedge between us, and that is my overprotective
Yes.
cop father.
Yep.
So I was like, let's be quiet.
100%. Girl, you better shut the fuck up. And it was nice of him not to press her because he mentioned it one time and looked at her because he was like, you know I'm right. And she was like, you know what?
Yep.
I
She said,
apologize.
you know what?
She's like, the sunset. It's just the sun's coming up. The sunrise.
Literally, when they say saved by the bell, saved by the sun. You hear me? Saved.
Literally saved by the motherfucking sun because she almost got called out and she said, daylight.
He
Oh
said,
my god.
we're vampires. Like,
He
you know,
said, it's daylight. I have to go home. Okay, Cinderella, calm down. Let's just rewind back before we go into this whole
mhm,
because I have a whole I wrote down a paragraph of how I feel about this interaction.
mhm,
But let's go back to something you said, which is that she's using him for a thrill. I am so glad you said that because in the very beginning of this chapter, she's like, "Oh my god," in her inner monologue where she's freaking out about like knowing that they're in the NPC. In her inner monologue, she's like, "I finally found someone who can show me the real world." I said, "Girl, ooh,
mhm.
ooh, God, that rubbed me the wrong
It
way."
does rub me the wrong way because perception is reality. Why are you so focused on the quote unquote this real world when the world that you were living was just okay? It was fine. Like it was.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't just for the simple fact that like you want to have a thrill, then you can't say this is the real world because that opens up a new question of is this the real world you want to live in?
And that's the thing, like, I don't know if they hint at it in this chapter, but I think the reality is that like for Ellie, this is a fun detour.
Right.
This
Right.
is not her life. At
Exactly.
the end of this, she's gonna go to college. She's gonna have
Exactly.
like this picture perfect white picket fence life for her. And Logan's like, this is not a fucking detour for me. This is my fucking life.
Life. Yes.
So it's really easy for, Ellie to be like, oh, I don't understand. You're better than this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, girl, ooh, ooh, let me go into my
Mhm.
rant. Let me go into my rant.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let me go into my rant. Something that Ellie says that bothers me, and I've made this reference throughout the episode, is that she keeps making this comment of like, oh, his crew is cool outside of all the crime they do. And I understand that point of view because, I certainly don't hang out with people who I know are criminals.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like, what are they supposed to do? Like you're passing on all this judgment like, oh, I didn't know criminals were like this. And it's like, why is it that you have to demonize someone who breaks the law?
Yes.
And especially because all the people in this crew are people of color. I mean, depending on how you select Logan, that's, my Logan is a person of color. All these people in this crew are people of color. We don't know their background, but Logan kind of makes this reference where he's like, all these people come from backgrounds where they couldn't be favored by the world, aka they didn't have privilege.
Right.
So Logan is just basically trying to tell you, like, we had no other fucking choice. And, like, the reality is that I'm gonna make a reference. If y'all have ever watched Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu, it's a wonderful series on Hulu. There is a character who Kerry Washington plays. She's talking to a rich white character played by Reese Witherspoon. And Carrie tells her, you didn't make good choices. You had good choices to make. And I feel like that's 100% this conversation between Logan and Ellie. It is so easy for Ellie to pass judgment
Mhm.
because she's like, well, I had a father who was in a stand-up career, and look, he made enough money for me to go to this expensive ass private school, and
Mhm.
I'm going to school. Like, she's never really been put in a position where she had to make an uncomfortable choice in order to survive.
Right.
Everything has always been there for her. I think really, like, Logan isn't trying to sit here and be like, you don't have to agree with me, but like also don't judge me. Because like you said, it's either crime or homelessness. I've always heard people say this. It's like committing a crime is a choice. But is it really a choice when the option is commit a crime to have food in your belly or live on the street and starve? Is that really a choice? I don't think so.
People have to understand that if someone says, "Oh, hey," and in retrospect, like he's stealing from the rich again, like stealing is stealing, but at least it's not he's stealing from people who already don't have anything. So that kind of gives him a silver lining in the sense of like, okay, he's a quote unquote good criminal. But if people who do crimes and they're like, "Oh, you're not worried about going to jail," and they say, "Oh, it might be better because at least I'll have a place to stay and food in my belly," like that's where I get from this because it
Yes.
really is steal these cars from rich people and sell them and make a profit, or Imma just be starving on the side of the freaking street because I don't have family, I don't have friends, I don't have loyalty. There's no one loyal enough to me to take care of me, and that
Right.
is so fucking sad.
It's so fucking sad. I personally, I mean, of course, you can play the Ellie that's like, I understand. And that's nice. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's realistic for Ellie's character. I feel like Ellie's character is the kind who's going to try to challenge Logan on his views, which I just feel like there's so much commentary we could have about the crew being people of color. The
Mhm.
crew probably, I mean, we don't know their backstories yet, but probably having backstories where it's, listen, nobody's first choice is crime.
Yes, for really though.
Nobody's out here being like, I'm gonna steal cars for a living.
Right,
Like that's like probably 1% of people who just like want to commit crime just to do crime. But that's not the case for Logan. Like he literally has no other skills other than this. This
right,
is how he makes his living. This is how he has to eat and survive, and like he has nothing else. So for Ellie just to pass so much judgment on him, it's like if you disagree with the life choices, trust me, baby girl, I'm not saying you wrong. Because if I was dating someone who I thought was hot and they tell me they steal cars for a living, I'd be like, you know what? Thank you so much. I'm good. Because I don't want to get wrapped up in that. And I understand where she's coming from, but I don't think the conversation has to become this moral thing. Like at the end of the day, Ellie's having this conversation like, oh, you could be better than this. Like Logan's gonna turn around and be like, you know what? Let me go get my GED.
yeah.
He's not. He's not. He absolutely is not gonna do that. Like, Logan is in this life. When you're in a life of crime, when you're hanging around with crew and you have like enemies, because let's be honest, NPC probably has some enemies.
Oh,
When you have
yes.
enemies, you can't just drop this shit. You know how many times Logan's probably sat there and been like, damn, bitch, I wish I had a family.
No, like
How many times he sat there and he's like, damn, I wish I finished college. Or no, I wish I finished high school, not college. I wish I finished high school. How many times he probably thought about this? And it's just like, oh my God, it's the raking him through the coals that I don't like. That's what I don't like about this conversation. If you and him have differences in opinion about this, that's fine. And you want to talk about that's fine, but don't rake him through the fucking coals because it's not like Logan can go out there and just change his life tomorrow.
right,
There's
right.
other shit, there's other factors playing on, and I just feel like it's one thing if Logan was like, "Yeah, no, I have a rich family and a trust fund, and I still steal cars." Then you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Go get your thrill from, like, racing in NASCAR or something, like, why are you here?" But that's not what Logan's saying. Logan is saying, like, "I didn't have a fucking choice." Oh my god. Whoo! I think ultimately what it comes down to is that Ellie's world, she's very black and white with shit. And for Logan, it's gray. So
Hmm.
Ellie's definition of what's right like really hinges on the law because her father is a cop. But like, does the law always align with morals? I would say no. Anyways, I'm done with my rant. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I completely agree with you.
I just feel like the dialogue, and again, I'm not saying that these characters aren't allowed to be flawed. It's the flaws that make the plot kind of progress. It's the flaws that, make the conflicts pop up.
Right, right.
I'm not saying that Ellie isn't allowed to be flawed, but I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell y'all I think she was wrong. I don't think everything was wrong. I feel like some of the ways that she went about having this conversation to me made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Logan will drop Ellie off at her house because again she sees the sunlight. She's like, "Oh my God, it's daylight." She's Taylor Swift. Daylight, daylight,
No,
daylight.
like literally, literally.
So he rushes her home like she's Cinderella. She gets there before her dad arrives. Logan, now here's the thing. I don't know if the scene differentiates. I think both of us picked the option to confront him, and Logan asked Ellie if he'll see her again, and Ellie will say she needs some time to think. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that that dialogue option does not play out if you don't confront him.
Yeah, that
I'm
is true.
I'm just now realizing this that he probably doesn't say that, but like, do I have the time to confirm? No, not right now.
Yeah, no, that is so true.
Because if they had a normal night and they were just doing driving lessons, there's no reason for him to be like, um, "Will I see you again?"
Right.
I just thought about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some digging and try to look on YouTube and see what other people. I know there was like at least one playthrough where someone didn't confront him. So I'll just need to like try to find that playthrough and see if I can find what he says and what the difference is, and I'll post it on our show notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, this is V. This is my voice popping in. I realized during editing, that I should probably add this note that if you choose not to confront Logan about his comment about becoming one of them, he just drops you off, and there's really no mention of him asking, if he'll see you again. It's just a normal goodbye. So she gets into the thing. Her dad gets back from the shift. He tells her that the NPC stole another car, but there is no evidence. Before we go into this, I want to know: did you pay Diamonds to change her clothes?
Listen, V, I'm the biggest hypocrite in the entire fucking world. Because I was just talking in the last episode how I'm not about to pay no fucking diamonds for no fucking clothes. But I just felt like this situation was a little different, and I was like, "Bitch, we gotta get you out these clothes. You hear me? We gotta get these fucking clothes."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my God, everyone's gonna know," and I'm like, "Girl, I don't understand why you have to pay money to go. How long does it take her to change? You can't just run upstairs and like your dad walks into the front door and he's like, "Ellie, where are you? The bus is about to be here." And she's like, "Hold on, I just need like 5 minutes to like finish up here."
Right,
She,
like I'm just running
she's
up
like,
and
"He's
away.
coming in the door now. I gotta go. I gotta change clothes." I'm like, "Oh my God."
But I did change clothes, got that cute little crop top with the plaid. I was like, okay, all right.
It was cute. It was a cute outfit. Not the most fashionable, but it's doable. The other thing I have to wonder, does this private school not have uniforms? I've never been to private school, but I've always assumed that private schools had uniforms.
Yeah, same.
So it was weird to me she running into this with a crop top and shorts. Let me tell you, if I walked into my high school, I would have gotten beaten by my principal. My principal used to come up to me and she was like, "You're a little bit too curvy to be wearing that." I said, "Damn, bitch, I can't have tits in the ass." God damn. Oh my god. Okay, the whew, Ellie. Okay, so after her dad says that the NPC stole another car, but there's no evidence, you can ask him three things. You can ask him, "Are you sure you're after the right guys? Who cares about some rich guy losing their car?" And then, "I hope you nail those jerks." What'd you pick?
Okay, so I chose the first one. Are you sure you're after the right guys?
Right. So let's just go over the other two options. If you say, "I hope you know those jerks," he just laughs and says, "So do I." If you say, "Who cares about some rich guy losing their car?" Or not Logan. Ellie goes off on a rant quoting Logan about these rich guys ripping off the little guy, and she just like kind of gets mad that her dad is risking his life to protect these rich people. And he just kind of makes some comment because he's like, "I don't understand what you're saying. Like, stealing is stealing." He's like,
Yeah.
"I really don't understand like where is this coming from?" And then she says, "Well, why do you have to risk your life to protect them?" And then he's like, "Oh sweetie, I understand you're like scared for me, but like don't be afraid." Like, not you getting into a argument with Logan and then pulling his own books, his own quotes out of your
Yes.
pocket to try to
Not you being
justify them.
hypocritical.
Oh my god. Okay, now, if you do pick, "Are you sure you're after the right guys?" This is also what I picked. Her dad will ask her what Ellie means, and she says, like, "There's no evidence, so how do you know it's them?" And he says, "You know what? You make a good point," because he's like, it could be anyone. They're just kind of
Right.
assuming it's the NPC, which I feel like after hearing that dialogue, I also feel like there's no way they had the time to sell $1 million car overnight because we were hanging out with them.
Exactly.
Where was the time? We were with all, unless there's some hidden like seventh member of the band that we don't know about who doesn't visit the garage and he just does like jobs. I'm like, who?
Yeah, we were all together.
I'm like,
I was
I
flirting with half of them, I remember.
don't. Right, we were like literally playing pool, trying to be all cute. We asked Mona to press herself up against us. Like,
Yes, yes.
I'm like, we were all here.
No, we were.
Maybe it could have been Kaneko because Kaneko he did kind of go ghost after dinner. Yeah, there's really like I don't think that they're the ones who did it, Dad. Like I was sorry, I understand why you're making that assumption, but like you're a detective. Let's explore all avenues before you just settle on one, okay?
Exactly.
The book then flashes forward to Ellie in class. She falls asleep. Rhea has to bail Ellie out when her teacher asks Ellie a question. Rhea's just like super excited. She's like, "Oh my god, you were out all night. I want to hear the story." And Darius is, you know, not as excited.
Hilarious.
He's being Darius. Darius warns her not to lose sight of who she is. I'm like, it was one night, Darius. Let's calm down. All of us have had an all-nighter in high school. It's
Yes,
fine. It
yes.
doesn't mean you're losing your sense of self. So then the next morning, Ellie texts Logan asking if they can meet. Logan texts her saying that he's busy with Kaneko at the Pavilion. Now, we're getting to the part where this is why I personally feel like the dialogue where Logan dropped them off is I feel like it could change depending on how you handle that argument. And I'm going to send you two images and I just want you
Okay.
to let's just read them together. I want you to read Logan, I'll read Ellie.
Okay, okay.
So let's go with the first one I sent you. This is a scenario if Ellie pretends not to know anything.
Okay, all right.
I'll read the timestamp and then you read Logan, I'll read Ellie, okay?
Perfect.
So it says today at 8:16 a.m.
Can I see you later?
Yeah, after school?
Great. I've got a job with Kaneko at the Pavilion now, but I'll text you later.
Are you getting up to trouble?
Enough trouble for you and me both.
Okay, that's if Ellie, pretends doesn't confront Logan on his bullshit about one of us.
Okay.
Now if you go to the second image,
Mm-hmm.
this is if Ellie admits that she knows something. "Hey, can I see you?"
Busy this morning. Got something with Kaneko at the Pavilion. Text you later.
Are you getting up to trouble?
Nothing I can't handle. Hmm.
It's that subtle difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's that subtle difference.
Mm-hmm.
I do the thing that I will, and again, I'll post this on our show notes on Tumblr. It's playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com. I got a plug. So the thing that I will say is that the key difference here is that Ellie is, because in the dialogue where Logan is Logan asks her, am I gonna see you again? And
Yeah.
she's like, I need time to think. Logan's like, let me give her some time.
No, like
I'm
literally,
not
yeah,
gonna
he's
text her
very
first.
respectful. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very like, let me give her some time. And so when the one where you confront him, Ellie has to make that step forward first.
Yes.
She just can I see you? And then he's very like he's a little less warm, I would say, than the alternative conversation.
Yes, I would agree.
I'm busy this morning. I got something at the Pavlon. Can I text you later? The other one where she pretends not to know anything, he's like, "Can I see you later?" Great. I got a job with Kaneko, but I'll text you later. Just a little bit less enthusiasm in that second one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting difference. So yeah, that's why I personally feel like the dialogue choices when he drops you off are probably a little bit different depending on how you decide to handle that scenario. So Ellie will walk downstairs to her dad and Jason. Jason is again her dad's partner. They're strapping on bulletproof vests. She's like, "What's going on here, y'all? Why
Yeah,
look like y'all about to go
literally.
out to war?"
Yeah.
Her dad reveals that they got a tip that the NPC is selling a stolen vehicle and they're gonna arrest him. Cliffhanger is they're at the Pavilion. Ellie's like, "Fuck, the cops know they're at the Pavilion." So I guess we'll see how that plays out in chapter 4. So I do have some questions for you.
Let's do it.
I want to go character by character. How are you feeling about Logan right now? And let me, before you answer, let me just preface for people, just to make sure we're like really making sure everyone's on the same page. You have never played this book before.
Yeah, I've never played this book before.
I have played it multiple times. We're coming from different perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Logan.
I want to fix him, and that is where I know that is going to ruin us. And so, as much as like I like him for being confident and open and honest when he chooses to be, it's giving me very like we're about to reach the end of the road, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Damn, we in chapter 3.
I know. But like, I guess it just all depends on because, like, as of right now, the drop off of 3,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm about to have to fucking text Logan, telling him to get the fuck out of there because my dad's on the way to arrest him.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I want to start committing myself into where I have to choose between my father and him, or even if that's a smart idea. And so, how I feel about Logan now, I guess right now I'm a little apprehensive. I'm a little slow pace.
Mhm.
The thrill is ending, as we said in the
The
last.
thrill has ended. Wow.
The thrill is ending already.
Full
It was very
circle.
short lived, very short lived. Because I don't want to change who I am and like where my path is. B,
Mhm.
have to choose my father over him, and C, I don't want to fight for him if he already has it in his mind that it's just not gonna go the way I want it to go.
Mhm.
Right? Of course, all of that can change at a drop of a fucking hat. But right now, I'm just kind of like,
I mean, you have two love interests that tell you like, don't make a bet on me.
yes, yes, and it's like you have to listen to what people tell you.
Mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
listen. None of this, like, oh well, he said this, but he could. No, 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 no. What did he tell you? What did he say? Listen to him.
Yes, the one thing that I always tell people whenever people are like, I don't know how he feels about me, I'm like, listen, my golden rule for dating, if he doesn't like you, you'll be confused. If he does like you, you will not be confused.
Right.
I feel very confused right now.
Same because literally same because what he's saying is this is my life. This is what I've lived. This is what I do. But when it comes to you, no, 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 no. Don't say when it comes to me.
Mm-mm.
Because you mean to tell
There's
me
no exceptions in this life, bitch, okay?
no at all. You mean to tell me after one argument you gonna go steal a car? Like no, we not playing that. We're not doing that.
Mhm.
And this whole like I like you so much, I don't want to let you go type thing, but I know I should let you go. But you could join me. No, bitch, we not doing that either. Like we not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So I'm very, iffy about Logan. We just have to see how the rest of the chapters develop. Definitely 4. Because like people
Uh-huh.
be careful what you ask for. Because like I wanted him to open up, and he opened up, and he said, "Hey, this life and us being together, it's probably not going to work out." And I said, "Okay, all right."
You said, "Damn, wow, that was a nice 48 hours."
No, literally though.
Colt, how do you feel about Colt?
Again, I don't know nothing about him. Okay, man, he came back from spring break, and that makes me want to know more about him, and it almost makes him the ideal partner right now because if he is in college and he already has one foot out the door, let's just run away together.
Oh,
Let's just, let's just run away. I have not had enough interaction with him in order to truly say that. And it's because I just feel like the game has such a good way of you being allured to Logan.
mm-hmm.
Their dialogue is set up and how
Well, let's clarify. Good if you're into him. If you are someone who is not attracted to Logan, I'll be sick of this
I,
motherfucking game.
yes, like I'm so sorry for you. I really
I'm
am.
so sorry if Logan is not your chosen LI. And even if he isn't by the end of the book, I am so sorry if you were not into him at this point.
Yes, yes.
Because they really forcing him down our fucking throats.
It would literally be like Logan stares at you affectionately across the warehouse. You look at Colt. What are you looking at, bitch? Like that's
Cole's like, yeah, fuck you, bitch, pussy ass.
you don't know nothing about no cars. You shouldn't be here. You Korean bitch.
You look like you're lost, bitch.
I love you, bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. Literally him. So like I truly hope that in the future chapters I can get at least one good sincere scene with him so that
hmm
I can have an appropriate opinion on what I want our
Got you.
future.
Mona.
Um listen, after she breathed on my neck in that pool scene,
Oh,
I was like,
oh, you let her? You were like, girl,
I
come
did.
closer.
I let her help me out. I let her help me out. That's another one that I feel like I'm gonna have to talk to. Just because I want to know where her head is at.
hmm
Because she just seems I just feel like if Colt and Logan had a baby, it would be Mona. As far as
Oh,
like attitude wise on what they do.
got you.
She seems like yeah, like it's a lost cause, but I want to know why it's a lost cause for her. Because Logan is because I've never had affection, I've never had loyalty. It doesn't work out, that's it. What is
hmm
the story? Why does she feel like it's a lost cause for her?
hmm
So like
Okay.
I'm very intrigued with her. Her and Colt, like I'm here for it a little bit. I just need to know a little bit more.
Right. We're only in chapter 3.
Right, right. And that's
Okay.
scary.
Hemina.
I like her. I like
Okay.
her. I think her and Toby, they're just kind of like really good supporting characters for the crew.
hmm
Like they're really good. Like they probably look at Toby being like, "Oh, that's just Toby." Like that's just
Go home, Roger. That's the type of character I think Toby is. Go home,
yeah.
Roger.
They're very playful, and I feel like they are the ones that if the crew broke apart, they would be affected the most by it, and they would hurt and yearn for it.
Interesting. Okay. Kaniko.
I don't know what's up with Daddy.
Said, Daddy, I'm confused.
Daddy, I'm confused. Like, why does Logan mean so much to you? Is it because he has already proven himself? Because we get onto that topic. Like,
Let's back up. Why do you think
mhm.
Logan means a lot to Kaniko?
I
Do
think,
you think Logan means a lot to Kaniko, or do you think Kaniko means a lot to Logan?
I think Logan means a lot to Kaneko
Mm-hmm.
because I still think down to my original statement that Logan could be the son that he would allow to be in the crime scene. Because
Okay.
if the story is that he does not want Colt to be part of this lifestyle because he wants Colt to have a better life, and he looks at Logan, who doesn't have a life at all, then like it almost makes me feel like he could be comfortable with the idea of taking Logan under his wing and having them have that like father son illegal crime activity duo. Now, it's like, is that Kaniko's train of thought? I don't know.
Right.
But that makes me feel like why would Logan mean a lot to him? That's the only thing. Like, unless truly it is just because Logan um increases his profits to the point that he doesn't want to let him go because that would cause a strain on him financially.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem like Logan has any attachment. He's like, "Psh, I've only been rolling with them for like a year. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like, there's no loyalty, no love. Like, I could dip at any moment."
Gotcha. I want you to rank the allies, but I want you to start. One is going to be who you're gunning for the most right now, and three is going to be the person you feel the least attracted to. And I want you to start with three.
I think three would be Mona, just because I felt like if I didn't allow myself to like open up more already with her, then if it's not going to be shoved in my face, I probably won't go for it, and the book probably won't shove it in my face. Two, Colt.
Okay.
Um, it's just so hard because I've already had so many good moments with Logan, and like if in book like seven, he's just like, "Baby, I want to get my GED. I'm all for it. You hear me? I'm
Oh.
all for it." Okay,
Hmm.
and it's just, yeah, that's really what it is. Like later on, this the ranking could change because I could have scenes with those characters, but right now
Yep.
I'm just so emotionally attached.
That's fine. I'm not asking you to predict into the future what your
Yeah,
rank will
yeah.
be. I'm just asking where they are right now.
Yeah, I just am so emotionally attached to Logan because of what we've been through in 48 hours.
Okay. Overall, at this moment, are you sympathetic towards the crew?
Yes, I am. I am.
Not just Logan, not just Colt, the whole crew.
The whole crew, I am. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Because I definitely think with all the characters, there's more than what meets the eye. And like you said, you made a very valid point earlier. Like, no one wakes up just choosing crime.
Are you completely aligned with Logan's thought process about being a criminal, or do you feel differently, even if it's slightly different?
I feel differently.
Okay. How so?
We are literally right on the verge of just being great. Like with our character Ellie,
Hmm.
being valedictorian, going to college, like all her dreams are right there.
Hmm.
And I just feel like for her to give that all up for someone who has made it very clear that when it comes to fight or flight, he'll leave.
Uh-huh.
It just, oh, the irony is there is no ride or die when it comes to him.
Oh,
He's just gonna leave.
oh, oh.
Okay.
There is no ride or die when it comes to him. Okay, that's an interesting point. Your basis of disagreeing with him isn't necessarily based in his logic. It's just more so how you feel about the future with him could look like.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, I do have some Reddit reactions. Again, these are comments from like 2 years ago, okay, because that's when the shit came out.
Hmm.
So user Jax4444 on Reddit said, "Is it weird that I ship Colt with Logan?"
Oh my god. We were just saying that.
On the same vein, user Mrs. Scaval said, "Logan and Colt just need to hate fuck and get it over with."
Oh my god. I'm so glad we're all on the same page.
The homoerotic subtext is hot.
No, truly.
Honestly, might be a greater romance if it was just the two of them having sex with each other. User Meta Now said, "Himina, and I can't stress this enough, please step on my neck."
Okay.
I'm like, if Kaniko's daddy, Himina might be mommy. I don't know.
No,
I'm just
truly
saying.
though. Truly though.
I'm just saying. Someone who's big and tall who can hold you, and she's like, "Oh, sweetie." I'm like, "Ooh, I get the appeal. I
Yeah,
get the appeal. I understand. I'm not 100% straight. I can see. I can see where they're coming from.
absolutely. Like she could like, I don't know, like just like give you milk at night and make sure you're safe.
Give you Come here, sweetie. I made a warm glass of milk for you. Because I know you're stressed about your dad being a cop and like hiding it from us. So I made you a glass of milk.
And if
Is
you could
that
just
okay?
please remember to text me when your dad is doing a raid, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Love you. Good night.
Fucking weak.
Okay. User Deathclaw Plushie said Jason is going to betray Daddy at the end of book 1. Very early prediction. We don't know anything about this character.
That is very true. That is very true.
They're calling it. They said Jason, bad guy.
I think
That's
so.
interesting.
I can see that. I can
We
definitely.
haven't really talked about Jason. Did you have any lasting impression of him as a character?
No, because he's just like there. Like I'm just like, ugh, ew.
Your dad's
Okay.
just like, oh, it's his partner.
Yeah, and it's just like almost awkward because like I just feel like it's just extremely awkward for me to just like want to talk to my dad about it, and then like your partner's like covering. Like, can you go? Like, what?
Every single time your dad's in the house, Jason's there. I'm like, can y'all just not meet at the office? Why y'all always
Yeah,
convening in
no,
my kitchen?
no, literally. Like,
Every time I wake up, y'all are here.
how do I not feel safe in my own home? Like,
You ever have a roommate and like their boyfriend's always at your place? And you like, I can't. But when did you move in? That's how I feel about Jason.
oh my god. Let me tell you something. If in the future chapters I'm at some fucking raid, some not raid, but like some rich person's house because we about to steal a car. I don't know how I got roped in there, but let's say I did. Jason pop up. Can you imagine how awkward that's gonna be?
My bad, sir. You know what? How much do I need to pay you to not tell my dad?
No, like deadass. I'm literally gonna have to look at him and be like, "Let me talk to you over here.
Uh
Listen, you
huh.
don't snitch on me, I won't snitch on you.
Uh
Okay?
huh.
Like,
Right. The next one. This one's a little lengthy, but I feel like it goes into a little bit more of what we were talking about with the final conversation between Ellie and Logan in this chapter.
okay,
So user Queen is Cordonia said, this book is quickly becoming a favorite. I'm digging the urban LA vibes, the representation in the sideshows created by people of color in California. I have never related to a Choices book as much as I do Ride or Die. The impact of being born in prison, or your parents being imprisoned, of never being given the chance to strive because of who you are, who your parents are, or how much money you do or don't have. I get it. I was born and raised in the hood, and there were kids I knew who would join gangs because the gang was the only ones feeding and clothing them.
yeah,
I also love that Logan is canonically a person of color, which also drives the point home. I believe Logan sees Ellie as the idealized version of himself. Good, protective parents, the house with the white picket fence, and smiling faces to greet him every morning before he heads to a fancy private school. Ellie has the privilege of dipping her toes in the criminal lifestyle without actually having to suffer the consequences and without it having a meaning other than her freedom, unlike Logan. The dialogue is cheesy and funny at times, but I think there is an underlying narrative in the aspect of the LA sideshows and the ghetto, the crew all being people of color and the wealthy white kids she goes to school with.
right.
I can't, there's nothing I can add because that's exactly what we were getting at.
No, like truly, it's a beautiful, beautiful comment.
Okay, so those are all the reactions I pulled from Reddit. It's time for bingo.
It's time for motherfucking bingo.
It's time for motherfucking bingo. Okay.
I got this shit pulled up.
Okay. So the last time that we had discussed this, do you need me to send you the most recent one?
Oh yes, please. That would be awesome. Yes,
Let me
yes.
send you the most recent one so we can both be on the same page when we're looking at
I'll
this.
distract them.
Oh.
Um, Guys, Mercury is in retrograde, so let's just be careful with things that we communicate, okay? And let's be careful with short travel, like states over. You know, let's just, be careful.
I
Okay,
honestly was just gonna cut away and edit that part out, but
that
since you
worked. That
wanted to
worked.
give advice, I'll leave it in there. There's no reason for me to stop you.
Okay, let's wear our mask out in public,
Oh,
please.
you know what? Yes, sir. Let's repeat that again. Say it again for the people in the back.
Let's wear a mask out in public, please.
You know what? I'm gonna turn the audio up on that one part. On that single part, that's where I'm turning the audio up. That single one. Wear your motherfucking mask, bitch.
Wear your motherfucking
We
mask.
ain't playing fucking games, okay?
Okay, I got it. All right.
Okay, so we gotta pull it up. Okay, so this is ride or die bingo. Last time we had a crossed off. You'll be given the choice to wear rebel clothing, but you don't because you don't have enough diamonds. Lucas did not make that mistake this time.
Oh no, I didn't.
We did not hit bingo. Only one thing was crossed off, so we have that in a free space. So let's go ahead and keep doing this, okay?
Let's do it.
We'll start again from the top left. Logan makes fun of you for being a good student.
Nope.
No. Your gang will definitely have a car crash at some point.
Nope.
No. Your father will have to pick you up from a police station.
Nope.
No. All your high school friends worry that you've become unrecognizable. I have to think on this one.
Me too. Okay, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you why. She only got 2 friends.
All of your two friends, your duo.
And if half of them feel like, because Darius is already like, like, I'm worried about you, like you're, doing stuff that you're not, that you don't normally do, would that be considered all your friends?
I
'Cause
feel like no, because Ria's here for it, and two, Darius isn't saying that you become unrecognizable. He's just telling
he's
you, like,
worried.
be
Yes.
careful.
Yeah, that's true. You have a
That's
point
all
there.
he's saying. I don't feel like it's quite there yet. Logan's gang will involve you in dangerous missions to test your trust.
No,
You will emotionally manipulate your dad to help your friends, even if it's against his integrity.
that's episode 4. No.
Oh,
I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
ooh!
I'm calling it. I already know I'm gonna have to text Logan and be like, get the fuck out of there.
Oh my god. Your teachers worry that you are failing your grades, but you don't care.
Nope.
No. You will have a fight with your dad over your new quote unquote healthy lifestyle.
Nope.
A rival gang will challenge Logan, and you will have to defend his honor.
No.
Logan has a tragic backstory
Oh,
involving a.
oh my god.
Let me read that without laughing. Logan has a tragic backstory involving a car crash to make him a sympathetic bad boy. Let me tell you how fast I'm marking this one up.
No, like literally.
Literally, he pulled it out. He was like, I had a car crash and I will never leave it up
Never.
to fate ever again. Whew, okay. You'll argue with your high school friends you've known for years just to protect someone you met a week ago.
Nope.
Logan will show you unsanitary places of LA, which look like a dump from the outside but modern inside.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Your dad will prohibit you from seeing Logan, but you will escape. No. Which, by the way, the fact that she has gone this long, she spent all these nights out, and her daddy don't know.
Her dad don't know.
What has she been telling him? Because when she left to go to that party, was he just like gone? Was he just like out on a late night shift, and she was like, I guess he's just gone.
I guess so.
I guess. When Logan and his gang get arrested, you'll cry a river because they'll blame you as a mole. No. You'll justify everything Logan does by saying that no one understands him like you do.
Oh my god.
Logan's gang will have a hard time accepting you because you are too proper.
No, because Colt is not Logan's game.
Oh, does Mona count?
Yeah, I guess she
I
does.
think it does count because she's straight up telling you, like, you do not belong here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna mark that one.
You have a point. Yeah.
Okay, Logan will be busted carrying drugs, but you know he's innocent because he says so.
Nope.
Logan's antics will get you hospitalized. No. After meeting Logan, school will suddenly become boring and you will want to feel alive. No. Logan will save you from kidnappers he sent you to. No. Logan will become a fugitive. No. Logan will call you nicknames and bully you. No. You'll
Ooh.
you'll drive without a license because life is too short.
Ooh.
Damn, that was more than last chapter.
Yeah, it was.
That was the last box. So we ended up crossing off 3 more boxes. We're not at bingo yet. At most we're probably 3 away from bingo.
Right.
That is bingo. We'll of course post where we are again on our notes, play choices, podcast.tumblr.com. Again, I will continue to plug any opportunity I have. So that's the end of our episode. Please just go check us out on all of our socials. It's at Play Choices Podcast on Instagram, at Play Choices Pod on Twitter. I've already said this like 5 times, but playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com for our Tumblr page. Is also where I post any episode notes. So if there's any links to posts that I've mentioned, photos I've mentioned, etc., I'll upload them there. We are available for listening on all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
tell you something. I realized earlier this week when I was editing like the social media and stuff for this podcast, we've always been on Apple Podcasts. No one just told my ass.
Oh.
I did not get an email from Apple Podcasts being like, "Congratulations, your podcast made it onto the platform." And I'm a little salty about that. Because I've been saying we're not on Apple Podcasts. Sorry, sorry. And we've been this whole fucking time. Anyways, if you are listening to Apple Podcasts, please rate, review, and subscribe. It's something with the algorithm. It helps. I don't understand it, but it helps. Okay. If you have any questions, theories, or comments, please email us at playchoicespodcast@gmail.com. Alternatively, we have had a few people kind of jump into our Ask Us Anything
Mhm.
page on our Tumblr, so you can use that too. And we'll try to respond in the next episode. Any parting words, Lucas?
No, just thank you for listening, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. A little hesitant about every single fucking character in here, but I'm excited.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.